Hey, what's going on, guys? Steve Andes here, and welcome to the ThoughtXchange. I got my boy, Cameron Barkey.
Cameron Barkey's here.
Cameron Barkey.
Live in effect. What's up? How's it going, guys?
And we have a special guest in the house today. We have Evelina Mannarino.
Hi.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll start off with there.
Oh God, where do we start?
Where to start? People don't know anything about you, so just start off by just introducing yourself, or your name and what you do.
Like the 3-minute elevator pitch?
Sure.
Yeah, 3-minute elevator pitch us right now, Evelina.
I usually don't have one. I usually just stare up and down, and then people get all like weirded out. Like, hey.
You flirt with them. That's hey, what's up? It's
right?
like, what?
And then I leave, and then they're like, "Who the fuck was that? Why was she staring at me?" Right?
It seems to me, in the behind the scenes we were talking, it seems to me you've had a very interesting life. But I want to talk about, so you're getting into guns right now?
I wouldn't say I'm getting into them. I'm like really right into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like what exactly does that mean? Is this like target shooting, skeet shooting? Or?
So it is just target shooting. So my only goal is to shoot the exact middle of all my targets, like really, really fast.
As fast as possible.
Fast as
Zombie apocalypse lays out.
fast as I
She's the
can.
one we have to go and find.
Is she, hey?
My coaches say as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as fast as you can, because that'll be a different thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always remind it, as fast as you can.
Yeah.
So
if you go as fast as I can, it's too slow for you.
That would be way too slow. I'd be like,
I
I
don't
might
go
as well
very
quit.
fast.
That was a waste of ammo. But not a waste of the target, because you probably didn't hit it. So
Yeah.
I could reuse that.
Steve would have made one hell of a military guy, hey?
I was in the military.
I know you were, man.
I was in the military for almost a full year.
Jeez. And then what happened, Steve Andes?
And then I said I couldn't do it.
Yeah, you
I
couldn't do
couldn't
it.
kill anybody. I'm just like, this is not going to happen. Like, I knew it wasn't for me. I was in trouble all the time.
For what?
Whatever, anything. Like
He was making his bed.
Either one time I had my rollerblades taken away because I was rollerblading through the tents.
You're in the military, man. You're not supposed to rollerblade through the tents, buddy. I even know this.
And then, so I was just getting in trouble for everything. But I was jacked because I was doing so many push-ups still all the time.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Adjust that
Yeah, can you fix it for me? I can't see.
You're in your tie?
So you're
That's so cute. Look at you two.
I know.
Each other's
What
hair
got you
and
into
shit.
what got you into shooting, Evelina? Like how did this even transpire?
You know what? It was actually therapy. It really was.
Yeah.
Because before, a couple years ago, I had constant anxiety and constant panic attacks. So from the time I wake up, I was in a constant state of like high anxiety. And then a friend wanted me to go. And so for that 1 hour, I was so nervous about shooting that my body forgot about its anxiety. And that was like the first 1 hour that my body had a different sort of feeling. And I was like, I'd rather be nervous than have anxiety. And then the more I train in it, it's actually like Zen-like. Because you have to have your eyes and ears so you don't hear anything and you're just focused on one thing. And you have to completely clear your mind. And there's nothing in your mind. It's just you and the target.
Yeah, it kind of makes things a little bit less stressful because you're
It's
focusing on one thing at a time then, eh?
So you learn, your body learns to, like when you're in your square, whatever the square is, that's when like you have nothing else on your mind.
And you learn to stay in the moment.
So yeah, you have to stay in the moment because that moment is like milliseconds. So if you're not in the moment, like even if you're shooting and you see a target and you already think about the next target, you miss that one because you're not in the moment. So you
have to almost slow it down and you have to
the
watch
moment to
watch the
milliseconds.
bullet hit the target. Like, bang, perfect, bang.
Yeah.
Does it slow down? Does everything slow down when you're there and doing it?
No.
No?
No.
Like it's still pretty fast?
It's really fast, yeah.
Because I remember I've had this discussion before, like when people get adrenaline dumps, everything would slow down. Like, so for instance, there's people who jump out in little squirrel suits, right? Their brain has so much adrenaline pumping through their system that every little motion that they do, like they would see things at a different perspective than like everything is so fast, but you see it in every little move that you do.
When they're only doing it once or twice, but once you are conditioned and programmed, like you're actually supposed to not even think about anything at all.
Yeah.
So I was going through a period of training where I'm like talking to one of my coaches. I'm like, I don't understand why. Like I'm like focusing on it and breathing, and I'm like, and I'm doing this, and I'm gonna do that, and whatever else. And as I'm walking, I'm making sure to like pull the triggers. And he's just like, oh my god. He's like, you know what? Why don't even worry about it. He goes, just don't even think about it. He goes, let the beeper go off and then just shoot. Don't think.
Well, because you've done all the training,
And then I'm like,
body just knows how
okay,
to do
because
it
I was
now.
so busy thinking that nothing was working. So he goes, just try it. He goes, don't even try to get it. just do nothing. So the beeper goes off, and I just pull out the gun, and I started
Boom.
getting like all alphas. He goes, because the whole point of conditioning is to not think.
Yeah,
That's
the-
super cool, actually, because
Yeah.
you could take that and apply that to other aspects of your life.
I apply that to life all the time.
Yeah, that's super powerful,
like
actually.
habits, little habits. And once you have those habits all the time,
then you don't have to think about them
Just
anymore.
do them.
then they just happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people overthink themselves out of certain things. I've done it before.
Yeah.
Like, we all overthink ourselves out of stuff.
And then you'll notice like those moments. So in shooting, we have a thing, I can't even remember what it's called anymore. I feel like it's a dip, right? So you're holding the gun, and I guess you're anticipating the gun to go
To
up.
recoil, so you dip the gun down.
So you go like this, and a lot of the time I would used to do it, and for like weeks I used to wake up in the middle of the night and feel sick. I'm like, I hate that feeling, right? But it's the same thing in life. Like that episode that I just had, like right away I'm like getting mad, and I right away it's like the same feeling. I'm like, oh, we don't need to get mad. Like this is not a.
So the people don't know which episode you're talking about. So if you want to just kind of talk a little bit about, just so you know, because it was like before you came to the show, you talked about it behind the scenes. but
Right.
People
So
don't
like
know what's going on.
on my way here, I'm like pulling out, and I have 2 garages where I live. So as I'm pulling out, I realize that there's homeless people that are living in the garage,
In the garage?
inside the garage,
Of where you live.
because there's 2 separate ones, one here and kind of one behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
is
I don't
is
use
there
the other
anything-
one.
Is it empty? It's just.
Well, it was not now.
Yeah.
It was a
How long
secondary-
were they there for? Said homeless people.
I
How
maybe
weird does
a
that?
month?
How weird does that make you feel? There's just random people
not,
living in your
it's
garage.
Macaulay. There's random homeless people everywhere.
Yeah.
I'll get to work sometimes, and there's somebody like sleeping on my front stairs.
Yeah,
Be like, Betty, 9 a.m. Like we should all get to work. Maybe you can
do that too.
go do something today. Like
Yeah, I
you
guess.
know.
Yeah, no, that
I'm
makes
like
sense. yeah.
another half hour ago, I have clients coming to plan their wedding in like an hour.
Yeah,
Could you kindly like,
just yeah.
you know, I don't. It'd be weird if they're stepping over the homeless person to come and plan their wedding. Like, help me out.
I'm like,
Help me
out.
help you.
Yeah, help me help you.
Right?
I'm gonna wake you up and make you go to work.
So
That
there's
will
another
help you.
time I'm having an event, and I'm going to the side entrance, and there's like this homeless lady like sleeping there. I'm like, hey. I'm like, I'm having a party here. She's like, well, I'll be quiet. I just need a nap. I'm like, you promise? She goes, yeah. I'm like, okay, sleep tight. Right? Try to be nice when I can.
But when the client's coming in for you to plan a wedding,
That's not
that was
very
yeah, it's
appropriate.
not
I'm like,
very
you're gonna have to
appropriate,
like move yourself somewhere else. They shouldn't have to step over.
The good thing is that they're not usually there at night. At night they're usually gallivanting around. So
No, at nighttime I have seen them there on the cameras, and we have like this loud, and I almost feel bad. It's like a loud siren. First, like I'll have the flashing lights on. If you don't clue in that it's time to like move on, I have to turn on the siren. And I feel bad because you watch them on camera all sleeping all nicely. The siren comes off, and they jump out of bed, and they almost fall down the stairs.
out of bed or just out of
Out
the
of
ground,
their little,
Their
out
thing.
of
Their
the
nook.
makeshift.
whatever
No.
cardboard
No.
thing.
have you ever
yeah.
heard about those little? This is speaking of the siren stuff. The little things that they use for teenagers to like a teenager deterrent. Where like
A
they
deterrent? A teenager deterrent?
Yeah, because
What do
you
you mean?
we can't hear certain frequencies.
That's correct.
But
yeah.
younger kids can hear. Like as we get older, like the ringing in our
Right.
ear, our brain starts to just tune them out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like the ringing is still there. Our brain goes, I can't handle that. Then it just deletes that sound from us.
I
But kids
love
can
that
still hear it.
test.
The kids still have it.
I know,
so
it's a fun test.
So they would basically set up these little high pitched frequencies in front of like the convenience stores and stuff like that, where it's just like,
That's
and it's
a good
super
idea.
super annoying. So then they don't hang around because they're like, I can't handle that.
But then the adults are just like, they
adults
walk
just
right
don't
in.
hear
They
it.
don't hear
Wouldn't
it.
there be a random adult who would walk in and be like, oh, what the fuck is going on here?
I don't think so.
I don't think so because like
No.
our hearing just dissipates because like the frequencies don't stop. Like it's just those smaller
Yeah.
high pitched frequencies. They start to go away because we just can't handle the stop of the vibration of the hairs. Either that or the hairs disappear.
I love
fall
those
out, don't
cool
they, or
things
something?
like that.
Yeah.
Because then you test it. You're like, hey, kid, come here. Can you hear this? Yeah. What do you hear? And then you're like trying so hard to hear, and you don't hear anything.
You won't hear it. Yeah.
You
You
That
just
drives me
cannot-
mental. Those little tests that are on the computer. Sometimes I think they're trolling me. and
They're
it's just like a
testing
number
you.
on a screen because it shows the frequency, and it's like, and then it gets like super high, and you're like, You're just like, I think I can fucking
And
hear
you
this
wasted
thing.
an hour of your life.
And you wasted an hour of your
time.
life listening to a screen or
Yeah.
looking at your screen like, screw you, 900 hertz or whatever it is. Like,
You're like, I'm gonna hear it this time for sure. Okay.
yeah. And then you're super silent and you're trying to really focus on it and still nothing.
2 hours later.
Yeah, you're still looking at your screen. You've done it before. That's crazy. Okay, so
Oh my God.
you got into guns because you had anxiety.
Yeah.
And then you just wanted to start shooting.
And then I ended up, because I spent so much time at it, I ended up getting good really quick. So then I'm like, I might as well just keep going.
Yeah.
And I just
So
kept
that
going.
you kind of you went right to the top. But Evelina has a tendency to kind of like
All or nothing.
deal with the best of the best. So like gets the best coach in the
Yeah.
industry and the
I
best
was
thing.
like, best world shooters, you know,
Yeah,
because
like,
I needed a coach.
you
I'm
just
like,
call 'em
"Grr,"
up
the
and say,
names come
"Hey."
up. I'm like, number one. Okay. No, I guess phones don't go like this anymore.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
bullshit. Hello? Operator? Okay, so that
Operator.
didn't happen.
Yeah, look it
Yeah.
up, operator. Can you patch me through? Yeah.
yeah.
You have an incoming call from.
Yeah.
Okay, so that didn't happen. But yeah, I Googled who the best people are, and then that's who I was going to go and learn from.
And
So
you did.
So what's
Yeah.
your take on like mentorship? Because you do this a lot. Like you take on you look for the best. Like when you want to do something, you
Yeah.
look for the best person in that industry.
Yeah.
And you just straight out track them down. Like
Yeah.
like you
Sometimes
did that.
I'm like
you
a
met
pest.
Donald Trump.
Did
Like,
I? No, he just tweeted me.
You just tweeted.
Hi, Evelina.
Yeah. But you were like Trump was a big one. Oprah was
I
a big
met
one.
Oprah twice.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, Oprah's coming to town. I'm like, met her,
Yeah.
waiting for her to take me out for lunch, which, you know, it's going to be on the book club.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, little mini me, she's always like, not that she's competing against me, but I was telling her, I'm like, so yeah, I'm going to be like on Oprah's book club. And she's like, I'm going to be on Oprah's book club. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? She goes, I'm writing a book too. I'm like, what?
Who's this?
Natalia.
Oh, so you're a little one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, and my little heart stopped. I'm like, because this kid goes after the same things. I'm like, Oprah's probably going to pick the 7-year-old author
Over you.
over the over the old bat, you
Yeah.
know? I'm like,
You'll have to take her on the show, and then they'll be like, "Oh, so how did you learn?" My mom wrote a couple books, and I'll be like, "Oh, we've never heard of them, but yeah, you wrote a book. That's fantastic."
right? So
That's exactly what ended up happening. Oh, look at this 7-year-old author. It's so beautiful and
so
cute.
that's what happened with, like, so you know Keanu Reeves, where he trains for his firearm stuff, right? It's
Yeah,
with,
he's pretty intense, eh?
it's with Terran Tactical.
Okay.
Right? I'm like, oh, I want to like train on with Terran Tactical, so I'm like pestering him and pestering, you know, and like nothing. So then, you know, there was that one where he posted like a photo in the morning with him, like with a gun. And I'm like, oh my God, Natalia has the same sort of stance. I put the one on top of the other. I don't know if you saw that. I'm like, hey, vote. Who's more badass, Natalia or Taryn? Like, you got to vote. So Taryn starts following me. I'm like, and then messages me. I'm like, is everybody following me or Natalia? Because
Oh,
everyone's like, when is she
jeez.
getting her own Instagram account? I'm like,
Uh-oh.
why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so she is already getting popular. Like some of the sponsors that I'm talking with for getting a contract, they're like, yeah, and she can wear all the same stuff you wear.
That would be kind of cool.
I'm like, that would be cool.
That'd be cool.
So where does this shooting take you? Like, what does that do? Or
It's
like,
literally all over the world.
yeah. Explain.
So right
I'm
now,
ignorant
I'm-
to like, is there professional shooting leagues? Is it like,
So
how does
there's
that
not
go?
professional shooting leagues. There's just the two different leagues, which is the USPSA and IPSC, but it is both are all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm mostly in Alberta and then the States for training.
Okay. Yeah, and like, is there different tiers to it? Like, like different types
So
of guns
there's different
or
divisions,
different
right?
divisions?
So
Okay.
for me, it is I'm in production, which is the hardest because whatever you buy in the box is what you use. So you can't fidget with it, you can't put in new parts, you can't take them off. And then you have like the extreme, which is open guns, and those are like $5 to $10 grand a piece.
And it's people are adding like little like
You do
different
whatever
stocks,
the
different
fuck you
sites,
wanna
different
do
this,
to
different
win
that,
the match,
to make
yeah.
it better, right?
So sights, triggers, like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't do those custom
No,
guns.
so you just have a gun right from the box, and there's no customization, no
Nothing.
ads, no nothing. It's
No.
just I get my
you can change the
Beretta,
parts
which is
for the part.
yeah,
Nobody uses a Beretta.
oh, whatever,
Natalia.
whatever it is.
Natalia uses a Beretta. You can. go shoot with
Is it,
Berettas.
what's the big one with the cannons with the little
357
Berettas?
Magnum, I believe.
those Berettas, or what are they called?
The big
huge, the desert.
that one. The Desert Eagle that I have.
Is that what it's called? Like where
It's
it's
not
like
big. I mean, it's huge. It's like 5. It's like a 5-pound weight.
they're like a hand cannon. They call them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it feels like it. When it goes off, it's like boom.
Kicks back, yeah. Boom.
And I'm like, that's enough. Yeah.
And you have one of those.
So I have one of those. Yeah.
Gold.
Gold. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
A
Gold.
gold Desert Eagle. Jeez, that's pretty wild. Do you use that one to compete at all, or no? No.
God.
What's your favorite gun then? What's your gun of choice?
So I use Tanfoglios.
I don't even know.
They're
Explain.
like an Italian. So the most popular ones are CZs and Tanfolios in production division.
In production division, yeah. And why is that?
I just think they're the best.
Yeah. That's just why are they the best? Just fast, reliable.
I think, yeah, it's just the quality of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even tell you exactly what it is. To me, Glocks I feel like plastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like even Natalia's Glock. Like it feels like a toy, but I get it. It's a real gun.
But they're like plastic coverings instead of like a metal.
It's plastic. It's so light, and it's, I don't know. Where Tanfolios and CZs are like heavy and they're metal. There's less recoil on them, and they're smooth, and they just, I don't know. I feel that they're more accurate.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
So there's usually the two teams, which is Team Tanfolios, and then CZs, like the top world shooters, are either on one or the other.
Ah, and do they both respect each other, or they're just kind of both like?
No, you know what?
They don't like it. They beak each other.
No, like in gun sports, it's really weird. Everyone is friendly with everybody.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like the friendliest group of people you'd ever meet.
I guess you can't get upset in that kind of environment. Someone could get popped off.
You can't get
No,
upset.
they wouldn't do that.
Like you just
Can you imagine though? Like you don't want to pick a fight when you know everyone's got a gun. You'd be like, yeah, we're not.
And everyone's really good at shooting. I'm gonna take your big toe. Yeah. I'm not gonna kill you.
Could.
Just
Yeah.
like shoot your gun right out of your hand. What, are you crazy? Yeah.
Like
you better
in
watch your
the
well.
2 years that I've done this, I've never seen anybody like, not even argue, but not even like. There's just no there's none of that.
They all respect each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes total sense because you're all kind of in the same boat and like a.
We're all walking around with loaded guns.
Yeah, and you're all walking around with loaded guns. So
But
yeah.
you know what it is though too. I feel that the people who act up the most are the ones that feel empowered. Like they feel like their power has been taken from them. So
Yeah.
then they act up to try to show that they have power. It's like the same thing as like when people who are like martial artists and like can kill someone. They're usually the most calmest
They
people
are.
because they don't like. They'll be like, I could kill you, bro.
And you
I'm
know
just like,
what I
they'll be
found-
like, okay, have a good day. But it's the ones that don't have
And
that type of
there's
power.
there's always this like when you first start, and that this is kind of when I started guns too, right? When you first start, the first 2 or 3 days you don't really know what you're doing, but by the 4th to like, I don't know, first couple of months, you think that you're like the best martial artist in the world. If anybody tries to fuck with you, you're gonna beat them up. Like with guns too, I'm like, I'm so good, I'm training all the time. And then when you get to the next level, you realize you're kind of dumb and stupid and you don't really know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So now it's like the real learning curve where it's really tough. So martial arts and guns to me was the same way. And then finally, yeah, when you're at the very end, like, you're really good. And then you're finally humbled, you're calm. People are not going to pick a fight with you.
Yeah.
Because you're like, there's nothing to prove. You've already gone through.
all of that
Yeah.
stuff. And I think that's true. That's like, it's usually like, you know, when people feel defensive and they're all, it works in
Yeah,
any time.
defensiveness is like a
Defensiveness,
weakness in
it's a-
you.
it's a
So
weakness
right
in you. It's
away.
like, ah!
Same with anger.
Yeah.
So as soon as I feel anger, I'm like, hey, I have a weak spot. Why am I feeling weak right now? It has nothing to do with what just happened to me. It was my own.
What triggered me?
What doing? Like what?
Triggered.
Triggered.
I hate
love
that word. I hate that
Someone
word.
was triggered.
Trigger is the worst word. That's like a
Trigger.
politically correct like. I
When-
thought it was a joke. I thought the word triggered wasn't even real.
Yeah.
It's just someone put a Facebook post and I got shit on for it. Someone put a Facebook post
Somebody
up.
got offended.
Well,
Someone got triggered.
well, no, because it said at the top. It said trigger warning, and then they wrote something, and
Oh my
then
god, I'm gonna use that from now on. Instead
Trigger
of
warning?
instead of asking people if they're offended, I'm like,
Are you triggered?
Get
Yeah.
it? Because I'm a pro shooter. Are you?
Yeah,
did I
that's-
trigger you?
yeah, it can fly with you. It doesn't with me. People like automatically just get mad. They're like this asshole. Like No, I wrote a little status, and everyone gets mad at my status. I wrote a little
He
status.
pokes the bear though. He likes to poke the bear.
No,
because
no,
he knows it's gonna like this is gonna trigger some people.
I know.
You're
I
like,
don't
"Wait,
even know what.
wait,
I thought
wait."
trigger was a troll word. I didn't know it was
And you're
real.
probably like, you've read your post, and you're probably like, okay. And you press the button, you're like, okay, now we wait. And
No,
you
wait,
go-
see what happens. What happens? Do I triggered anybody?
Right?
Did anyone get triggered?
Who did
Yo,
I
well
offend?
now on Facebook,
Everybody offended everybody.
Facebook
You're like, oh, shit.
sent me a notice saying that hey, they're cleaning up the thing and that some of your stuff's gonna be taken down. Or
Did they?
You
Your
sent me-
stuff?
No, I think it was like a general warning to anybody, but it was basically telling me that like my own personal Facebook page is now at risk of being things removed from it if they don't like what I say. And I'm like, then if you don't like what I say, then you can't sell my
Information.
my information off. Like that's the way I would look at it. I'm just like, if you take down what I write, then I'm like, you can't sell me to anyone else. But that's why they take it down, because then they like, we can't sell this guy. This guy's wild. We can't put any ads on his account.
God.
Did you know that this is what happens? They updated the policies, so like they're updating them all over
And
the
you
place.
scroll, and then you finally agree. You have no idea what you agreed to.
Oh yeah, when you
And
yeah,
you're
no, you have
banned.
to read it. You have to read those things.
And then you're like, well, why did you ban me? It's in the rules. Well, can you point them
Well,
out?
there's a whole
And they
thing about
don't.
the all of the computer laws. Like basically, we've all broken the internet laws. All of us have broken them. But they
Probably.
don't actually go after you until they want to charge you with something. And then they charge you with something, and then they just look back and say, oh, which law did you break? And they'll just pull it off. So like it's like that's the whole thing about giving up a lot of your privacy and stuff like that, is you're like literally like just handing someone all the information to come take you down at any point in time in your life, whenever they want. If you don't follow the rules,
Right.
if you don't follow the rules, they'll basically come in and they'll shut you down.
We should start a new Facebook with no rules.
An underground one. Yeah. Don't
Well, no, it doesn't have to be an underground one. Just start a whole new thing, because everyone's probably getting. Facebook can't be around forever. It needs a new thing now.
The good thing is that like all you have to do to really disappear is unplug. You just because they're so dependent on it now. All you'd have to do is go bloop, unplug and walk away, and literally like how would they find you? Almost like if you completely unplug from the system.
How will they find you if
They
you don't
wouldn't-
update your status?
If you don't update your status and you don't like use
It's
any-
pretty easy for your
get rid of your phone.
your regular Joe Blow guy going to a job. They'll just find you there.
Yeah.
It's still not that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you'll catch you on the red light camera. Like, it's not that difficult.
Well,
That's why we have SIN numbers. Have you ever heard of Kim.com?
No.
Where
No.
they went and attacked him.
Who?
The Americans, Kim.com. So he changed his name. He owns like
It was a company called Mega Upload. Do you remember Mega Upload? No. Okay.
So, yeah, he's an internet like millionaire. Like he owns a share, like almost like an Amazon or like
Yeah.
a Google, like where he owns like a share. What are they called? When you call
File
like,
sharing.
File sharing.
Okay.
Like Zshare or WeTransfer.
Like
Mega Upload.
Yeah,
Okay.
servers. He owns online servers,
Okay.
but he has it set up that I could upload anything to his server, and then someone else can download anything from his server. So he just provides the servers. He doesn't
Right.
care what people put up and down. So people were putting up like
It was like bootleg videos and stuff.
they're stealing movies and doing whatever, but they would upload it to his servers. But he's just like has nothing
not
to do
my
with me.
fault.
It's not
I
my
just
Did
fault.
they scroll through like the pages and pages and pages and then press agree so that he wasn't responsible?
He's not
liable for-
responsible, but they wanted him to shut it down.
And they showed up to his
Because-
place with like tanks and helicopters and,
And
like his
seized all-
compound. He was the number one. Was it Call of Duty? He was the number one Call of Duty player on the planet. Like he's like this. I don't know where he's from. New Zealand.
Yeah, I think it was New Zealand.
He's just like fat New Zealand, nerdy, really badass, all at the same time.
Computer
type
guy
of
He
who
dude.
had
had, like-
tanks and helicopters out
No,
his
no, no.
house?
He
Yeah,
had
no, they
like
showed
million,
up.
They showed up. They
Like
came, the Americans
the feds
went to
showed
New
up.
Zealand and showed up in his thing with the military.
And
to
we're like,
take
you
him
got to
down.
shut this thing down. Yeah, it was
And
crazy.
they arrested him and then seized all of his fancy cars, all of his toys, his house, all of that stuff. They went and seized it illegally.
Did they have a court order?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know the
He
full-on
sued them
story.
and he ended up getting all his stuff back, like because he's just like.
I'm not sure if he did. I don't know. Did he? I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know the ending of the story.
But yeah, but they showed up at his house like as if he was like like the like
Fucking
he
the
was
Taliban,
like
he was
the
fucking
drug
Osama
like he
bin
was,
Laden himself was out there.
like Osama bin Laden, or he was like the drug cartel. Like I was like, he has an internet server business, and they showed up.
That's what I
And they showed up
mean,
at his compound with huge military army, like
Like they
full
showed
army.
up with an army at this guy's place, and he's like just sitting there playing his fucking
Video
Nintendo.
games.
He's just
Yeah.
a fat guy playing video
Meanwhile,
games.
the drug dealer down the street is like, "Can you guys move?" And you know, and
Well,
they
he was-
move and
the-
let him through, so the
drug-
drug dealer can get
the
through.
drug
Yeah.
the drug dealers
And they're
paying them
fine.
off, so like that's why they don't bother him, because he's getting paid. This guy probably wasn't paying anybody off, and
So
they're
he was
pissed.
busy playing video games.
Yeah, he was the number one something in the world. It was like so random. Like the number one, he was number one in Call of Duty or like some racing game or something. Like,
He
it
was
just,
he was fresh on the internet. Like his Kim, he changed his name to Kim.com.
this guy's name was Kim.com. I don't know what his net worth was. It was in the tens of hundreds of millions probably. Like it was way up there.
Yeah.
This guy had a
Didn't-
compound. Like
And
he had like
didn't even
a
go and spend any of it because he was busy playing video
He
games.
did, but he basically spent it on his like ranch.
on like badass shit.
Badass toys.
So
he
he
just
had,
had
like,
a bunch
a-
of toys, and like he literally lived in this like farm that was like decked out like a castle with like
video games.
fancy Lamborghinis.
He just
and
played
cars,
video games,
and he
yeah.
had like his house was like set up, decked out, so he had like this gaming
gaming
where he had
room,
like a gaming room where he had like cars, and he had like all. So he would never even leave his house. He had all these toys, and all he would do was play video games. Yeah, it was crazy. You should look him up, Kim.com.
Yeah.
I don't really have time.
I just
That.
he was cool. I just brought him up because we were talking about like privacy and stuff like that with the internet, and it's crazy. Like when they don't want you to do something, they'll fucking shut you down real quick.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. And while you're talking about the Facebook stuff, I didn't know that this was happening, but YouTube just changed a lot of their policies, and I
Yeah.
read through them the other day, and I was like, oh dear God. I was like,
Yeah,
there's-
so I had that same thing with like the Evelina Facebook page.
Yeah.
what is that? For
I
audience?
mean, that was for sports. Like that's my
Because
name.
she has,
sports.
but you have guns on there, so they're probably
Evelina.
having a
They're
problem with
like,
that.
yeah, that's what it was, and I'm like, I don't know. Can you just point out to the thing? Because I'm willing to fix it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. That it was like, you know, depicting violence or something like that. I'm like, I'm an athlete. I go, here are samples of other same athletes in the same sport in the same business who have pages
It's like, where do you draw the line? Like, that's the thing. Like, she does modeling, so she'll
Yeah.
model
with
the guns, which she's an athlete for, and they basically like
or competitions.
they'll be like,
right?
no, you can't be showing out. You can't be showing around in your bikini with a gun. That's got to come down.
So by the time
Facebook was saying this?
Yeah, so by the time that page was allowed to go, all of a sudden I had like 5,000 requests for friends, and then I'm like, why am I getting a lot of them were like East Indians marriage proposals.
Oh jeez.
Like,
Holy shit.
and then I'm like, I laugh about like the American, you know, men, like American Canadian men. I kind of put them all together as a North America,
put a
right?
North American men,
And
yeah.
I'm always like, I have like dozens of marriage proposals from these men from like all over the world in India, but you think you can get one American guy to text you back? No. I want a call, not a marriage proposal. You're so beautiful.
It's better
Can
than
I
dick
marry
pics or
you?
something. Like,
I get those too. That's why I had that post on there as well when I was like doing my Maxim cover voting. I'm like, I appreciate all the dick pics. That's really great. But
I can't
in
even
lieu
believe that. I
of-
still can't even believe that's a thing.
But in
you've
lieu
sent a
of,
couple,
can
man.
you just
No,
vote
I've
instead?
never sent a couple of never. Like I
I've
can't
never
believe,
sent dick pics
I can't
either.
believe that's a thing. Like where people just say, "Hey,
Oh.
hey, check this out," and send you a
I have
dick
an
pic.
idea. I'm gonna start saving them, and the next one I'm gonna recycle them. So next guy that sends me a dick pic, I'm gonna take the other guy's dick
and
pic
send it back.
and send it back.
Yeah. I've heard girls do that.
I should start doing that.
Yeah.
Girls will do that.
Okay. so
Hey,
you-
but can you call me? No, I'm sending you dick pics.
They'll just assume it's your dick.
no, they
That's
won't. No,
that's
no,
what they'll be
no.
like. Well, nowadays you don't know anymore.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I don't.
jeez. Holy shit. Yeah, it's 2019. You.
2019. Like who knows?
Who knows
anymore?
who has he
That's
packing
true.
what now?
Next time some dude's like send me a pic, I'm like, dude, I'm a model. I've posted all my photos
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Like it's for everybody.
Yeah.
I want
I'm
just
just
to,
imagining some guys that he's like, yeah, I'm excited to send it for goal. What's this?
I'm gonna get him. Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, baby, I'm gonna send a
Is that
really
Russ
good one
laughing
just
back
for
there?
you. I'm gonna send that.
That's so funny. So what's your main thing? Is your main thing right now the
Shooting.
guns?
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
crazy.
Every
So
day.
do you get sponsorship dollars or how does
So
that
not
work?
dollars yet because really like I haven't even won anything yet.
Yeah.
Other than just small competitions here and there.
Yeah.
They generally want you to be a top world shooter, but I think because I'm busy doing so many other like sports related things, and I'm good at marketing and business, and I'm social about this, and I'm, putting it all together, that they're interested in me to sponsor me.
Yeah, because you're like an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like doing the shooting stuff.
Right.
Like
So one of the things we talked about is sometimes you're going to get an offer where you think, you're like, oh, finally God has finally blessed me with something. But you have to kind of know the difference between when it's God and when it's the devil presenting you something. And you don't want to just jump on the very first thing that you're given. You're like, well,
yeah, if it's too quick, sometimes it's just like it's a temptation. Like
right. And sometimes like with these sponsors, if you take one, you have now you're not able to do
other
something
sponsorships.
else.
Depends
They
what the
lock-
contract is,
they
right?
lock
Yeah,
you
they
into
might rope
something.
you in and you think you made it, and then it's like, okay, now I just
Sorry,
sold my
like-
soul for this, and I
that
can't do
happens to
anything else.
musicians a lot too. That they wrap themselves into like contracts, and then all of a sudden they get shelved, and now they can't sell their
And then
music.
you
lose all the
can't
money.
sell
Lose all
it. You
the money.
can't do your own tours. You can't. That's what I mean.
Yeah, like completely.
And
like,
everybody else, like when you're watching these things, everybody else is running around like, with jerseys, and you look like a sports car. I'm like, I don't really want to look like that, right?
You look like a NASCAR where you're wearing a jersey and you got all these patches all over.
That's
your
what it
butt.
They're
is.
starting to do that in the NBA now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, the NBA is starting to do that, which
Who
is like
does it? The hockey in the European
European hockey,
League
European
does that too.
basketball does that.
They look
yeah.
like this big billboards.
Yeah. So the one.
Well, that's how they get paid so much.
Yeah, so the one, like I am with the Wild West shooting team from West Edmonton Mall, so I'm on their shooting team, but I work with them all the time, and they do not put anything on me. Like, they don't make me do stuff. I mean, for provincials and nationals, I have to wear their jersey, but they don't make me wear that for every single competition. And so that's why the more freedom they give me, like I'm constantly posting about Wild West Shooting Center, always bringing people there. So I like that. Whereas when I'm told what to do, like,
It's kind of annoying.
I
I can personally see both sides. From the business side, if you have a quote unquote athlete that's working for you,
Yeah.
and they signed a contract, and it's like, hey, you're on our team, you have to do this, this, and this for the business. But also see your side of it is like, hey, they're not forcing me to do it. I'm doing
Right.
it out of the kindness of my heart, and I'll tag the shit out of it because I love them.
Yeah, and for me right now, I need to focus on shooting. You know what I mean? Just training, shooting, training, and that's really all I do is just train. I don't want to be going home at the end of the day or after a training session trying to remember if I like tagged everybody or if I wore my
that's
shirt.
the whole thing where these businesses
or
come into
if
play.
I just didn't have time to do laundry, like, and then I wear a dirty shirt. Like, am I going to get in trouble for wearing the dirty shirt? Or am I going to get in trouble for not wearing one at all because it was dirty? Like, I don't have time to think about that right now. All I want to do is just pull out my gun and just shoot those targets, and that's it.
So is this a timed thing?
Oh yeah,
Like
down to
it's-
like milliseconds.
Down to the milliseconds, yeah. And then obviously closest to
Accuracy, yeah.
accuracy. And they've got little special tools that they pull out and measure this shit to the millimeter type thing.
No,
You
or-
get
so,
certain
so the
points if you-
targets, yeah. So we have the targets. So we've got the Alpha, Charlie, and the Delta zone.
Yeah.
So depending on what division you shoot, like in my production, we need to get as many middle shots as
Alphas.
possible. Yeah, that's why I'm named Alpha Lena.
So what ends up happening?
Second alpha.
So what
Okay,
ends
that
up
makes
happening
sense.
is that like if the majority of the people usually all hit the alpha and the higher levels, so then it's all based on time because they're all in the same.
Yeah,
the same
so you
shooting. But
get
if you
like-
miss the target and you get in the B zone or the C zone,
Right.
you're like, whoo,
One
you just
point
lost a
less.
whole lot of points because of that. So,
Yeah,
like, even
so
if you
some-
get the same time, you lost.
That's what I mean. We like listen to each other's times. We're like, hey, that was 23 seconds, and then the next one is like 23:10. And we're like, hey, so now it's based on the points, right?
Yeah.
And if you miss like the one Alpha and you end up in the Charlie, it's like I missed it. But and then you drive home for the 3 hours. Like, why did I miss that one Alpha? Right, all the way home.
You obsess
Yeah.
over it.
And
Well,
you
it's 'cause
obsess over that.
Because you're professional and you're an athlete.
And then you go home, you retrain. You just
So, talking about guns, what is your take on everyday regular citizens having guns? Like, what do you have a stance on?
Yeah, so in Canada, I don't mind having to fill out paperwork and then having like a background check, right? Because I don't think everybody should have one, but it's weird. The ones that should have them and have them filled out all the paperwork
It's the ones that have them and
But the-
don't fill out the paperwork. Those like
are the ones that shouldn't have had them to begin with,
and they'll get them no matter what.
and they'll get them no matter what.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
So the whole handgun ban thing is like is really the dumbest thing in the world. It's really just
Well, I can
It's
see
not that hard to
like
get a
well,
handgun.
I can see like because Cameron's brought up a lot. He's been pro guns, all stuff. Like I'm all about like what do you need guns for? But he also brought the
and
point.
I used to be like that
Yeah.
before I actually tried it.
And no, but not only that, but he brought up the point too that the whole reason why everyone has guns is because of the fact that they had to fight for their independence.
Right.
They had to remove them. Like we're still part of the British Empire.
Right.
Like
Monarchy.
The monarchy. Like so, we're paying out to the monarchy. Our army is the Royal Canadian Military. Like it's it's not our army. It's the
Right.
British Army, right?
They pledge
So-
their allegiance to the Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what ends up happening. So everyone's pledging to the Queen. The Queen gets all the funding. Everything flows back to her, and so the Americans are the one that became independent. And the reason they became independent is because they all had their own weapons.
Right.
So like if all the citizens carried weapons, they would be less likely to try to come in and bring in an army and try to take them over. That's kind of how their
Right.
whole
So, I
army
mean,
ended up getting so big in the first
yeah,
place.
and then that's my experience is from like the two different sides of the world. Like the ones that aren't allowed to have them or not supposed to have them, they're the ones that are not mentally capable of handling firearms to begin with,
Yeah.
right? And shouldn't have them. Whereas like you see, like with all of the shooters, like we are with our guns all the time, every single day.
Yeah.
And how many accidents have we had?
Yeah.
None.
It's interesting because like the
Right?
whole arms thing is
Meanwhile, the ones that are unlicensed,
Yeah.
you know, the criminal organizations, like how many accidents do they have? And I was actually going to make like a funny video, like, because we have so many safety rules. Like I always wonder, like if you're doing your drive-by, like you clearly don't have your gun cased, right? So it's not locked.
If you're doing your drive-by, yeah, I don't think it's the safest. Like,
Right.
it's not like ammo's in the trunk,
You don't
things in the
have
case, they're both locked.
You don't
no,
have
no,
your
no.
trigger lock on it.
No.
Do you,
There's
do you
no
take
safety.
your,
No.
when
There's no
the
safety.
safety
Safety
is
Being
not
safety,
on?
it's off.
Being
Safety's
safety, being safety is
the
wrong.
safety
So the guy
on.
doesn't turn his safety on, and the thing goes off, and they hit a. And so
That's what I
They hit a
mean.
pothole and the thing
somebody
goes
dies
off.
in the back seat.
Which is
Yeah.
in Edmonton.
Cheddar
if you
Bob
think
yourself,
about
yeah.
it, it's a genuine, like, I have concerns for these people.
No,
Yeah.
you got concerns for the guys doing drive-bys?
Well, I mean, I'm
or the guys
wondering,
getting
is your-
shot at?
Is your finger on the trigger, right? In Edmonton, if you hit a pothole, that's it. Like,
Yeah, you accidentally shot your buddy in the leg.
you're
Yeah.
shooting
Or your son.
somebody.
That reminds me of Pulp Fiction. Remember when he goes, "What do you think about this situation?" And he shot the guy in the back seat.
I forget.
I'm
Remember
gonna
that? He
have
shot
to
a guy.
rewatch
Goes, "What
Pulp
did you
Fiction.
shoot him for?" He goes, "I just went off."
It's called an accidental discharge.
Yeah, accidental discharge, yeah.
It just went off. He goes, "Oh, because we're in the middle of the day. You got blood all over the back window."
That was a weird movie, not to get sidetracked, but it was like a comedy, but super dark at the same time.
yeah.
Like, you're talking about killing somebody and laughing about
I
it.
almost feel like I should watch it again because I
Pulp
haven't
Fiction.
watched
Classic
it.
film, yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Pulp Fiction? You've
I
seen
think
it.
I've seen parts of it. I just don't remember the whole thing because it's not my thing.
Do you remember The Gimp? No, okay, yeah. Just YouTube The Gimp, Pulp Fiction, and then that'll explain the whole movie for you.
I'm sure there's more than that.
That movie, that scene stressed me out. I'm still a little emotionally disturbed after that
That's
scene.
the other thing that reminds me, like the difference between like, you know, licensed responsible firearms owners. Like I find that we are smart enough to be able to talk about what's bothering us, to negotiate things, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's okay to not agree on everything. Whereas these bullies, they don't talk about it.
They just shoot each
They're
other.
not smart enough.
Yeah.
You know, you're so angry at somebody that obviously the words are not like communicating, so you're just gonna go and shoot someone.
I used to be in the nightclub industry, and I've witnessed sort of my fair share of, or been around or witnessed
Yeah.
my fair share of shootings. And some of the people that have shot each other are their cousins' brothers. Like
Yeah.
they're either cousins or they're brothers, and they're in an argument, and that argument, I know this is fucking like dudes are so ridiculous, but it's 9 times out of 10
Yeah.
over a girl, and they shoot each other over it. And I've seen it.
And that's what I mean. Like you're not smart enough to be able to talk about the situation. Like I can't even think of one incident where we got even like nobody got mad.
To the
That
point of
just
wanting to
doesn't-
shoot somebody.
I mean, not even that. Like
Take
not even
someone's
an
life, man.
argument. Like we just don't even argue. Like we don't even argue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't even take it to
The-
the thought
the
of shooting
worst-
somebody. Yeah.
The worst thing that could happen is if, let's just say we're like running and we break like a safety rule, right? Like let's just say like we have a 90, it's called a 90, so your gun can't pass a certain point.
You can't
right?
be going, hey, did you guys see that shot? And turn around with the gun and be like,
Yeah,
whoa.
that's an immediate.
Yeah.
Someone will yell stop, right?
Yeah.
Or I had another incident where I was close to 90 on the video. Like I saw that it wasn't. I didn't break 90. It was like 89, I would say. But he called it anyways, right? And then they pull you aside. They're like, the guy's like, I'm really sorry I had to do. I'm like, no, you're fine. Like your one job is to make sure that
Everybody's
all
safe.
the safety rules or whatever.
Yeah.
I go, what I'm learning from it, even though I watched the video and you're not
Even
correct,
though you're wrong and I
even
was
though
right,
you're wrong,
I was
right.
close to the line.
I was close to the line, and what I'm going to do is retrain to make sure that my gun never faces this way and that it always faces that way. So it's not even close, because I would not want to put that on somebody else
Yeah.
if it's a major competition and you have to yell stop and you're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go, so that's fine, we're all good. And that happens. People just don't get,
So do you think
don't get mad.
there should be more training with guns, or just ban them altogether?
well, definitely don't ban them. Because here's the thing, if they're banned, that means my guns and my daughter's guns, which are mine,
Yeah.
will be taken away, and we're the ones that are responsible firearms users.
Now, do you get a lot of like kickback from the fact that like your daughter has guns and stuff like that? Like I would imagine a lot of people would
Feedback.
be
Get
triggered,
offended, get
triggered by the fact that
of course.
a young child is learning how to use a weapon.
Right. So in Canada, it's not a weapon. It's just a firearm.
Okay.
It's not a weapon.
Well, how does that work?
Because
You're
a
gonna
weapon, you can take anything. Like I can take my iPhone and beat
use it as a weapon.
Use that as a
means
weapon.
A weapon means it's using
intent,
against something.
the intent is to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, gun's an inanimate object at the end of the day.
And it's not intended to hurt anybody. I get it that if you pull the trigger, whatever you point at is going to be destroyed. But yeah, I want to destroy the alpha zone in a target. Like that's my intended use for it, right? That's it.
I like that actually. That's a good distinction, because you can intend you could probably kill somebody with this.
You could, yeah.
If you really
Try to
got
force it down my throat.
Yeah, if you got
And I'm
really
like,
fucking
yo, man,
weird
use
about
this
it.
thing as a weapon. And it's like,
right,
yo,
you could.
Yeah,
he
that's
used
true.
this. Can we see the weapon, please? This was the weapon he used.
What about vehicular manslaughter? I haven't checked the stats because I'm busy training, but is there not more, what is it called, vehicular homicide? Where you
Vehicular
kill
homicides, yeah.
people with a car?
Hit and run.
There was a guy in
Like that is what, now all of a sudden that's a weapon? Why don't we ban cars?
yeah, this is gonna piss a lot of people off. People get mad at this type of
People
stuff.
get mad
when
all
you
the
say,
time.
Yeah, no,
They
they're all
always get mad.
everybody's all
They're
triggered.
mad.
Yeah,
Everyone's
screw
all
it.
triggered.
They all get triggered.
Yeah.
They're all triggered.
Well, who's
They're
the
trigger happy.
Yeah.
What's
We're gonna have to
happening-
put that at the top of the list because trigger warning.
Yeah, geez. Okay, yeah, that's what we're gonna put trigger.
This is gonna be the name of this
called
episode.
trigger warning.
This episode's called trigger
Somebody
warning.
is going to be offended. Is
Oh,
it
yeah.
going to be you? You know what
What-
I mean?
What happened in the UK right now is everyone's getting stabbed now because they banned guns, but like the knife crime, everyone's stabbing each other now.
Well, that's what they
in
said.
the UK.
Back in Canada, it was like that too. Like most robberies were done with knives and stuff like that. rather than
Yeah,
guns.
it's like running rampant in the UK. Nobody has guns, so everyone's just stabbing each other. And then there was I forget who it was, a little while ago. There was someone who drove over a bunch of people in a van or a
Did they
bus.
ban the?
Well, they
ban
did
the-
that
ban
that
the
car thing at that rally. The guy drove.
That's
down.
what I'm saying. He just drove
He
over
just
a bridge
drove a
and got
whole
rid of everybody.
whack of people that were
Right.
like in a protest and a rally, and he just drove over all of them. I'm like, that was a little wild. Like that's like I was
Yeah, or
thinking
the
about what he
van
was
somewhere
doing
else.
and driving it over.
Yeah, you could, if you really wanted to, you could kill anyone, a mass amount of people, as weird as this sounds, and you could do it any way you really want to. I mean, gun's just one method, but you could use a car, you could build some
Right.
weird bomb that you create, like you could.
Now you triggered another.
Yeah,
and
well,
now
no,
this whole
Triggered
video's
some-
triggered.
Yeah, no, all I'm saying is
Going on.
everything's an inanimate object until you
It
put
really
it to a
is.
different
It's
use.
what is
that-
the intentional
What's the
use of
intention
it?
behind it? Yeah. So yeah, no, it's just.
I just
pretty
think
wild.
like stupid people kill people because I think you're not smart enough to figure shit out and use your words. Remember, like back in grade 1, if you can't use your words and you're that angry,
What do you have? Do you have a
Like,
take on like
that's what I think it is.
people owning automatic weapons? Do you have a stance on that at all?
No, like ARs. You
Yeah.
know how fun those are.
Yeah, I've shot them
That's
before.
another pew 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 pew. I'm like, I love this thing. Like it's just, and that's the thing. It's intentional use. Like you go outside, you're out at a range.
You want to blow stuff up.
your cans or whatever else. Like
You know
that
what?
is so much fun. You
When I
put it
threw
away.
a grenade, when I was throwing those grenades in the military, like that was kind of fun. I mean, like you threw it.
How's that not
It
fun?
is.
And you
That's
just
like
watch
the
stuff
best.
explode. And you're like, and
I know, and you're like, that was so
you
fun.
just
Let's
watch
do
it from behind the
again.
wall. You're like, let's do that again. That was dope. Give
Yeah.
me another one.
Right?
Yeah.
But like anything else, or like smoking or alcohol, like that kills more people.
Yeah.
Definitely
Right?
does, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact stats on it, but a lot of people
I don't
die
know the
from.
stats either. But
I would put a lot of money on that. I think smoking kills more people than guns. I'll just throw that out there.
Yeah,
I'm
without
in-
even checking stats. We're going to Donald Trump that. Smoking just...
fact check. Yeah, at the end
smoking
of the
just kills
video,
80% of their clients.
we should do a side thing of fact checking, like everything that we said, and have like the stats and the facts. Like, because I'm saying I don't know the stats. I don't have time because I'm busy training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my thing. But I do know, like, I see these things, like how many deaths there are due to
Smoking, alcohol,
Smoking,
stuff like that, yeah.
alcohol.
Just logically
Cars.
thinking, cars even, yeah. Compared to people dying in
you know, and
shootings
you
and
get
stuff.
one, like in Canada. I mean, in Canada, this doesn't happen very often. I mean, when it does happen, it's, you know, very big, and people blow it out of proportion. And then people that don't understand guns, which I was one of them 2 years ago before I started, I'm like, I don't know why we need them. And now that I have them, they are so fun. And it's just a good, for me, like a healthy lifestyle training with it, because I'm constantly in the gym. I watch what I eat. I don't drink or smoke. Like, I don't drink at all. And I'm outside all the time.
I had a buddy of mine who had like a wall, like he was a BB gun collector, and he had like every single type of rifle that you could get, but like just
Yeah.
replicas, right? But even then, we would just shoot him in his basement. But I was just like, yo, give me this one, and you're like shooting like the those automatic weapons,
Yeah.
and then you're shooting like a couple handguns, and you get to play with them and stuff like that. I felt a little bit more secure because I'm like, this ain't gonna kill anybody, because they're just shooting the pellet. But
Yeah.
they were like replicas, and they literally worked and did exactly the same things. They had the pressure gauges in them.
Yeah, so I have a couple of BB guns that I
Yeah.
was given from the top trainers.
Yeah, and they're like practically the same. They're great to like practice with.
Yeah.
And we
And-
would practice how to like disarm each other.
And they're all different as well. So for me, like, I don't know rifles, but Natalia knows rifles very well. Like, she's so good at it. Like, to her, watching her, like, she's in her little zen. Like, how she, like, loads the one little rifle, and it goes, makes the cutest little pew. And it's so cute, right? And she gets the middle, right? And she's nice and calm. She unloads it, puts another one in with those tiny little fingers, and just is, like, nice and calm.
What do you call those ones? The ones that they're like the bolt action
Like,
ones, one at a
yeah,
time.
bolt
The
action.
Bolt
There's
action.
bolt action, yeah.
Where you? What is it? Is it a specific
I
name
don't
for
know.
it?
Hers is called, I think, like a cricket.
Cricket.
And it sounds like it, because when it makes the sound, it's like a little pew. It almost feels
Just
like
a little
mos-
guy, hey?
It's like a little mosquito bite. It is so cute.
Yeah.
But again, it's like a nice mother-daughter thing that we do together. I'm like, people are going to get offended, but if they don't get offended about that, it's going to be something else.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
who cares, right?
Yeah. So do you think the answer is training about guns, more so keeping good use with guns and good ethical use with guns and training with guns and information with guns and education with guns? Because I see it going, guns are bad, evil, done, get rid of them completely.
Right, because people don't understand
Yeah.
about the whole, like the problem really is the criminal organizations. Those are the main ones, right? But they're going to get them somehow.
Yeah.
And it's not my job. Like, that's another thing I figured out, is it's not my job to do a lot of these things in life, right? I don't know if it's a man thing or a woman thing, but we feel like we need to fix the whole world and fix everything. So we can't fix shit.
I'm wondering about that though. Like a lot of times, your world is your reality in terms of like whatever you surround yourself, your environment.
Yeah.
Because like some people's worlds are completely like the world's so big that like if you live in a violent environment.
But look at McCauley. There's
Yeah.
homeless. When I first got there, I'm like, I'm going to fix the homeless problem. Like, I can't fix the homeless problem.
You
I
won't
just
be able to fix it.
can't.
You just have to end up kicking them out once. You rebuilding all those houses, bringing up the value. They're gonna have to leave.
Like, it's
You didn't fix it. You just moved them out of the area.
built them a brand new, big, beautiful home. They're like, oh, this garage is so grand. We can live in it. It's nicer than a house. Here you are. Like, no. That's not my contribution. That's not what I meant when I said I was going to build affordable housing. This is not it.
Yeah.
Miscommunication there on my part. Probably should have just left them.
Just stay in your place.
Should have just snuck into their house and during the day
And
when
change
they're
the
out.
locks.
No. and put up a little frame,
And put up an eviction notice.
Well, no, like a nice, welcome home or home sweet home sign. So when they walk in there, they're like, shit, they know we're here.
Yeah.
Right? Home sweet home. The crocheted one that you get at
Yeah.
Home sense?
like the old school garage sale ones. Like your grandma had or something.
Yeah.
The crocheted one. Put that
The
up
crochet
there.
is that little plastic thing, right?
So isn't it when you
No, it's
do
like you knit.
by
It's
number?
kind of like knitting. Yeah.
Knitting
No,
by
but
number or
what's the
something?
one where they're called the plastic ones where you actually you go through it, the little honeycomb?
Stitch? Something cross stitch?
Is it?
I don't know. I know
but-
exactly which one you're talking
Yeah.
So
about.
they know that I know.
Yeah.
So
And at least clean up your shit or something. I don't know. Put a little sign. Don't forget garbage days on Wednesday, folks.
I had a buddy of mine one time. He did that. He basically let a homeless guy live in his shed, and he was like he kind of knew.
who was
him,
the buddy?
NATO.
Yeah.
And they did an episode of Cribs on his thing, and he had and then the
I should
and
have
then I
knocked on
asked,
their door.
What
And
was
I
his
asked-
name again? What's the guy's name? He's famous.
Junkyard Dog. Junkyard Dog.
He's in one of my music videos.
Yeah, so Junkyard Dog was living in his shed, and then
So
I
how is
asked,
your dog in your video and I'm not?
and then I asked him,
don't know, I
just
didn't know you
I asked
yet.
my buddy, I said, hey, is Junkyard Dog still living in his shed? And he goes, no, he burnt it down.
Shut up, he did not.
Yeah, he had a full-on house in there.
He had
That
a
was
full-on
the
house
weirdest.
in there, and he had a fire because he was smoking in there, and he
That's
set the
so
place on
dumb. I'm like, this is a fire hazard. I see these people smoking or something.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing in that
Like, I
little
don't
shed.
think it's appropriate for me to be getting out of my car when I have a child in the car
Yeah.
and requesting that they leave.
No.
They're like, no, we'll do it.
That was crazy, man. When I was just like, yo, man, this guy's got this shed decked out like an actual bedroom.
Yeah, that
he had
was
a
so
bed- I was
funny.
just like, what is going on? Like, this guy lives, and he enjoyed it. He was like a 65-year-old homeless guy.
Is
who
he
just-
still alive?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Junkyard Dog.
I think his name was Junkyard Dog. I think
Well,
so.
that's what they called him. I don't know what his name was.
No, I remember him. Yeah. No,
But
he's in-
he was in a bunch of he audio recorded him a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For their albums.
Yeah, so again, that's another, I can't fix that.
No.
No.
So, guns. What else? What else you into? What's going on?
Well, I was a home developer,
Yeah.
luxury homes.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm in, construction.
Yeah.
And then I ended up building or renovating a 100-year-old building, which is now London Villas. So
This
now,
is where you're talking about where you're saying people come for the weddings and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Where is it?
really nice in Macaulay.
Yeah. So is this you doing mostly infill type stuff?
Yeah.
What's the business called? What's the
London
name?
Villas.
No. Your business.
Oh, Evelina Developments.
Evelina Developments.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. She's like cleaning up that whole area because she's been tearing down all the houses and putting up these
Yeah.
big fancy
Like really
$1 million
beautiful
homes.
Yeah. in
I'm just like,
Macaulay.
whoa, these houses are sick. You know, these are super nice houses and stuff
They
like that.
are.
Yeah, and like you even came up with the new idea of like creating condominiums instead of duplexes.
Well, always. You
Like
got to keep going bigger and
two-house
bigger.
condominiums. Like, because if you remember you were telling me about that, how like duplexes you put them side by side, but
Yeah.
if they're one on top of the other, they're considered condominiums.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, mine. You've seen my house. Yeah,
Yeah,
because we did that video.
Yeah.
I love that house. It's so cool.
I just think it's funny that like you have to have a condo board meeting with two people.
It's true. I'm like,
you,
really?
You have to have an annual
law,
general
you
meeting
have to
by
have-
law with your neighbor.
Yeah. No. How funny is that, eh?
I think it's funny.
So those little red tape bureaucratic stuff cracks me up sometimes. It's just like, really?
That's what
Like,
it's like working with City of Edmonton.
yeah, it's probably so stressful getting zoning and just all that shit. Hey,
Like,
they're so slow on stuff.
Did you ever figure out that thing about with the inspectors when you were building the one house?
oh my God. Again, that was the moment I'm like, I'm going to kill this guy. Like, I genuinely feel like I'm going to kill him. So as you're going through stages of building a house,
Yeah.
you have like inspections, right?
Yeah,
They come
oh, yeah.
in, inspect, you're like, you get the green sticker, that means,
Like the
okay, you keep
blueprints.
going.
You get the blueprints to inspect.
Yeah,
That.
inspected, engineered, the city stamps them, everybody stamps them, we're on the same page. You look at them like, hey, awesome. You stamp it, green light, you keep going, okay? Like everything. And then I had this family from Calgary with their moving van ready to go. I'm like, hey, final inspection, everything's clean. We just need it signed off and they can move in. And the guy's like, oh, I didn't see this before. I'm like, well, see what? He goes, this is like 5 inches not tall enough.
No, come on.
Like the roof.
Are you serious? And he was gonna kibosh the whole project for 5 inches.
He did.
You had to fix the whole thing.
And I don't drink, but I was like, I'm sorry.
But
I will be back. I went to...
Hold on, was this guy serious? He was
Fucking
serious.
I went to like Moxie's or something, or Earl's. I had 3 sangrias, which makes me completely wasted. I went back to that house because I had appliance deliveries, and I'm like, at that point, I'm now laughing. They're like, you have to sign here. I'm like, but just so we're all on the same page, I am intoxicated and not legally able to sign for this, but sure, I'll sign your paper. There you go.
For your appliance delivery.
For the
but you
for
had
the
to
other
get rid
unit.
of your whole second floor of your place.
No, so then I'm like, no problem. Misunderstanding, I'm sure, or something. So I called the city. I mean, I guess I get mad sometimes working on it.
Well, yeah,
but the guy was saying, he's like, well, you know, because I'm like, you stamped these, you looked at it, and I go, this is what we built, right? Like, what do you know?
This is
like,
your fault.
Yeah, like who's liable at that point? Like if you say, yeah, good to go, good to go, good to go, good to go. Ooh, now that it's done, now that I look at it, it's actually not really good to go. I'm like,
So when
motherfucker, who pays for that?
So
fix?
I stamped, like the guy, the developer, the city planner or whatever that stamped them. He's like, well, I don't know. You're going to have to just take the roof off and try again.
He said that.
He said that, and then I lost
What do you mean,
it.
take the roof off and try again?
And then I started...
That's making me mad.
I started
about that.
yelling at him and swearing.
Yeah.
Right? So the city worker the next day takes 6 weeks stress leave.
The same city worker.
The guy that I yelled at.
Yeah.
The guy that stamped them. Because I was like, I can't, I go, take and rip off the roof and build what? I go, I have to build exactly what you stamped.
Yeah.
So it'll be the same roof.
Yeah.
Because you stamped it.
Jeez.
And he took 6 weeks off, and then we went into Christmas holiday. So he was away for 3 months and just left the problem because he didn't know how to deal with it.
That's the kind of stuff. But like, I was like,
That's-
who pays for that stuff? Like, you know, like
Yeah, how did
The
that
builder,
get
the
resolved?
builder, they're like, the builder's responsible for everything.
But even if the city and like, I would sue the
They just
city.
said, I don't know. So I went down to the city, and they're all like, you know, there's like a row of them. They're all kind of like looking at each other.
They know they fucked up.
They're like, I don't know. I'm like, well, I don't know is not an answer. They're like, well, I'm like, help me help you. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
I go, because I can't take the roof off. I can't rebuild it because I'm rebuilding it to these plans
These
Yeah.
specs,
that,
yeah.
that you guys stamped here.
Yeah. That's like, yeah. that's
And
wild.
what was the issue with the roof being 5 inches too low? Like, why is
So the
that?
height, because it was a peaked roof,
It's just
a
that,
ceiling on the inside.
It's
Yeah.
a code thing. Like the newer.
Oh, yeah.
So the top
Better
is
see.
fine,
Yeah.
right? But then the angle, depending on how far the angle was out, right? Because usually it's like a pony wall.
Yeah.
So the height, I guess he didn't measure the angle when he did the inspections, and they didn't measure them on the plans. And the engineer also said, yeah, it's fine. And it was off by like 5 inches.
And he's going to actually kick up a fuss with that. Was there anything structurally wrong with this thing?
Mm-mm.
Wow. That guy needs to not work for the city anymore.
They just don't care. That's what I mean. They don't care.
Wild.
Yeah, there's no repercussions for that kind of stuff. Like,
Well, he had to take 6 weeks stress leave or whatever.
Plus Christmas holidays.
Who pays for him? Is that
The
tax
city of
dollars?
Edmonton, yeah.
His stress leave was taxes from the city.
Because I yelled at him.
Wow, this
oh,
is...
he was able to take stress leave because you yelled at him.
Holy shit.
Oh, that guy's working the system. Maybe you're not the only. Maybe he's done this a couple times because he knows the system that works.
I need to get into a new line of work here.
I actually asked, like, you know, like the chief inspector. I had a meeting with him as well. I'm like, listen, why don't I just come work for you? He's like, you're not going to last even a week here. He goes, because you're actually one of the best quality builders that we have here in the city. He goes, so if you had to go inspect some of these other homes, you would end up failing everybody, and then they would all be calling the city, and those files would end up getting big, and we would have such a huge problem.
This reminds me of a story one time that you told me about when you went in and the contractors put up all this shit, and then she didn't like it. She took it all down. So they came back and their whole fucking work was not there anymore.
So the HVAC, you know, like the
Yeah.
right.
Ductwork.
The ductwork in the basement.
Yeah.
Okay. I would go in there. I'm like, no. That it has to be higher because it doesn't meet the minimum height like restriction for the ceiling. I go, it has to go in higher, and I explained how I needed it done. Right. I go, move this one over and then sideways and whatever else. I go, then we're all
Yeah.
good. And you see them like, I'm like, it doesn't matter what you think of it.
The contractors.
You fucked it up. It has to be moved. Like,
Yeah.
we can't put drywall over it. It has to be moved.
Yeah.
So I come back the next day, and then they kind of like taped it and did. I'm like,
Some half-ass past job
I go,
shit.
no, we don't do half-assed shit. Like I I just don't do that. I go, you have to do it properly. Take this section out and move it so that it's nice and clean. I get it that it's covered by drywall. I go, but that's just not what I do. Like, it has to be perfect. They're like, okay. So I went in the next day and it still wasn't done. It was like moved, bent, whatever.
So you just
That's
started
fine.
ripping it down?
So I was there in my pajamas. I ripped everything out. Like, I ripped everything out from the ceiling, the whole HVAC system, and it was all over the ground.
How mad were they?
So then they come in and they're like walking out slowly. They're looking at it. I'm like, well,
I don't know.
guess we have to start over now. Okay, see ya. And I walked out.
And did they do it?
And it was done right.
Hey.
That's funny.
Like, I don't know. Just do it right the first time. And I get it. We all screw up because trust me, I've had my share of fuck ups in life. But, that's the thing. Like,
Contractors doing contracts is probably funny. I remember that one contractor you had where you were doing the thing and he was scared of heights and the ceiling was way too high for him.
or he didn't like paint the corner of a ceiling.
I don't remember the painting the corner, but I remember.
Yeah,
he
so I
was
did a
scared.
painting inspection. I don't know if it's the same one,
No.
but I have a lot of painting ones. So I come in, and above the stairs, like in the corner, like the really, like you have stairs going this way, and then you have a wall, like the corner there, right? So I go in, looking around, and I'm like, is that corner not painted? He's like, I didn't have a ladder.
What?
Okay, well, I mean, it has to be painted. He's like, okay, well, do you have a ladder? No, why would I have a ladder?
That's your job. Jeez, man. Yeah, I
And then we
can't.
get in a fight. He's like, oh, you just don't want to pay me. I'm like, paint the fucking corner so I can pay you and we can all move along. Like, you just wasted my day to come here and look at this.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like,
I would.
what did you think I was going to happen? I was going to say, okay. And then when I'm doing the walkthrough with the new homeowners, I was going to say,
Don't worry, he didn't have a ladder.
just didn't have a ladder.
Just like, yo, is that not painted up there? Yeah, the painters came in, they didn't have a ladder.
Just didn't
so
have a ladder.
That's
that
okay,
reached
just
that
don't look
far.
up there.
Just don't look there, like, and they're gonna say, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, it
that's
definitely
funny.
doesn't
And then
work
I
like
go
that.
home and I go through all my books on leadership skills. I'm like, and communication.
Yeah.
Like, where did we miscommunicate? Could I have said it better? Could I have implied any better that the corner must be painted?
Sometimes you just gotta hit people with the straight up, like, paint the fucking corner.
Like, do I need to like
That's what we're
babysit
paying you
his
for.
Almost like-
feelings
like,
or?
what are we talking about here?
Or they're like, you're so condescending.
No, you just paint the corner.
About the corner? Like, how am I condescending? Paint the fucking corner.
I'm picturing this go down and
I
like,
drive home and I'm like,
oh man.
because I'm trying to be responsible. I'm like, okay, how was I responsible for what happened? And I don't know.
There's some things, honestly, they always say in like a lot of those leadership books, it's like, it's your responsibility and it's all you and it's this and it's that and it's this. But sometimes it's like, just paint the fucking corner. Like,
God,
that one wasn't your
challenge.
fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've read like all the John Maxwell's, everything, and
Right.
and you're always like, okay, how
And
can I
then you
take
go
responsibility for
back.
this? Yeah, and you go back and you're like, how
okay,
can I approach that
so-
better?
How can I do this? I'm like, no, man, you fucked up. You got to paint the corner.
So, I mean, that instant, I still don't know. I'm like, I still don't know. How could I have done better?
No, you couldn't have, just unless hiring another guy, but like just paint the fucking corner.
So then I hire a guy. I'm like, hi, I would like for you
to paint this corner.
that corner. How much is it going to cost?
You need a
me?
ladder, though.
Do you have a ladder?
I want to confirm that you have your tools.
Maybe that's the learning lesson there is you should ask
And then you
every
see
time.
the ladder. You're like, okay.
Yeah,
Now
I got
the ladder
an
that you
18-foot wall.
have,
You're going to be able to get up there and paint the corner?
will your ladder reach that corner? Like, should we check out the like?
It's
Yeah.
technically a learning lesson for you.
But I haven't learned anything.
Well, you learned to
It's
ask.
2
like-
years ago, and I still don't know how I could have done
Still
better.
baffled. I'm baffled for you.
Well,
Oh,
at least you
man.
got him to paint the corner. You ended up
Did he
painting
paint it? Yeah, he ended up painting it.
I really don't know.
Oh, okay, that's.
I'm sure he did.
Some poor family is going up and down these stairs, looking back, being like,
corner's
"I
not
wish that
painted."
corner was painted. Who
Goes,
built this place?"
Why are we not going to? We should paint that. I'm not spending $350 on a ladder just to get up there.
Wife hates the husband. You chits out on everything.
Causes a divorce.
Yeah, causes a divorce.
All because of this painter. Jeez, man.
Right?
Trickle effect.
You never finish any of your jobs, James. Look at.
I asked you to do one thing.
Yeah, I asked you to do one
So
thing.
yeah, like finished basements, when like couples are like debating about the finished basement, I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to like upsell you on anything. I said, but this will save your marriage if you just get the basement done now, right now, because otherwise it's going to take 10 years plus.
You're right, actually. Why do basements never get finished?
Well,
Because
there's a reason for that though too. Like
Even
like
my own basement's not finished.
My dad did that. My dad did that too. He didn't finish the basement completely. He left the laundry room undone.
Because it's easy. You think you're going to do it.
Who's
Because
doing
as soon as you finish the basement, you have to pay more taxes on it. So if the basement's unfinished, you don't have to pay as much taxes because so you can, if you leave one small
You know
section of your
what?
basement undone, then you can basically say basement's not finished.
But then the 10 years of labor that it takes you.
Well, no, that's why he just closed it off in like a door. So like it was just it
It
was
just
one laundry
never
room.
gets finished.
It was a
It
smart
just
move.
doesn't.
That's a smart way of doing it,
Yeah.
but she's talking about someone buys a house and she's like, hey, you should finish the basement. What do you want to do?
'Cause
Carpet,
it's
tile,
easy,
this,
right?
that, whatever.
We'll put
Let's
out
get
the
it done now.
Everybody can do laminate flooring. It's so easy. You click it, put it together. You put the little 4 baseboards on.
Before all
just
the
get
furniture
Paint.
shows up.
I'll invite my brother to come and paint. He's
Yeah,
a painter. He'll
exactly,
paint.
yeah.
Next weekend, 3 weekends, we're done. 10 years later,
Unfinished basement.
that's the final straw in the marriage.
Yeah.
It's like, I've been asking for 10 years to paint, and then it's done.
Your brother's such a slob, just like you. He's so lazy. He was supposed to paint
I
this.
asked him
Because
to
you don't
paint
even
the
go down
front.
into the basement. I'm the one down there. I like it like that.
I bet you that's happened
And
so many
they're
times.
like probably sitting in their separate areas going, yeah, I wish we listened to that bitch.
Because I
and
can't
just
come
got
down
the-
and enjoy the basement with you because it's not finished.
The extra
That's
mo-
why it's not
The
finished. I
extra
don't want you
mortgage
there.
payments would have been like, $150 more a month.
Yeah.
We're like now, like, hey, guess how much divorce is costing? A lot more than that.
Oh, jeez.
Right? Should have gotten the basement finished.
Yeah.
Are you still looking into building a high rise?
Right now, I'm waiting while I'm just focused on training for
Yeah.
all that other stuff to kind of settle down.
Yeah.
And then, maybe
You can go
start.
back into that.
Yeah, unless John Wick 4 calls me. Just waiting for my phone to ring. Then I'll
You
have
should
to go make that movie.
Like because you talk about that. Like it's wild how like Trump never actually built any of those buildings. He was just marketed. He just sold his name. Like that's a crazy
he does. No,
thing.
he has building experience because when I was
He does,
That's where
but-
he gets his money as a development company.
But
is it not?
but he makes his money. This is the weird thing. He makes his money by putting his name
Yeah,
on the building,
yeah.
and then the developers can sell the
Other
building
developers.
for more because they have his name. So he leases
His
his
name.
name to the buildings, which is like you get your name on the building. It's like a big marketing thing. Your
Yeah.
name's on the building. They go, oh, that's a Trump building.
Yeah.
I want to buy in on that one because Trump does good things, right?
Exactly.
And then they find out that Trump's not even an owner. They basically, the owners of the building just
Yeah.
basically are paying him to
I don't
lease his
think
name.
I don't think they just find that out. Like I don't think that's when you're dealing with that many zeros. I don't think you just find out
Who?
whoever's wanting to pitch in or buy it or
Well, no, that's
No,
this
it
is
is true,
this is
yeah.
what happens.
they just find out. They're like, oh, Trump has nothing to do with this.
After the fact, they basically.
Oh, it
only-
can't be
only
after the
when-
fact.
only
Those
when
people
there's-
do due diligence,
only
man.
when-
No,
only when
because
there's
with
problems.
due diligence is usually on. I mean, look, there was a building that I was not a building, but I wanted to buy a penthouse in Vegas at the Trump Tower, and because it says Trump, but he never did build it.
Yeah.
He never did.
Yeah.
All he did was he got paid for somebody to use the name Trump because then obviously they're getting more for it. And I think they gave him 1 or 2 units that he was just given.
Yeah.
So then he sold. That's how he was selling it.
Well, yeah,
But he
it's-
never built it. He never had anything to do with construction.
The Air Canada Center, Air Canada didn't build it. Rogers Place didn't
No,
build
but
it.
that's different. They're doing
Amway didn't build
But they're
it.
doing it differently because the Rogers Center pays to have their name on the building.
Yeah.
The building owners are paying Trump to put his name on the building.
Well, that just goes to show you that how
That,
much
like, his branding,
how
because-
much branding
Yeah,
he
that's
is.
what
That's
it is.
next level branding.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's where it is. Like that's
But
he's
he was
selling
doing
the name.
construction before.
Yeah. Well, that's how because he's got high quality buildings.
Right.
Right, because his started off with his father, right, was
Dad,
doing
yeah.
doing like communities, Trump communities and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and we're
Not
doing
Trump communities, just like a low income housing.
low income housing. That's
Yeah.
what I meant. Yeah, so like doing low income housing and things, and they had like put their name on their little communities and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
then that's what they were building. So he was building, and it's so funny. He goes, "Yeah, I got a small $1 million loan from my dad." I'm like, I need a
back in the
small $1 million loan from my dad, bro.
Dad, I know somebody that got a small loan. I'd like a small loan too.
Yeah, but that's funny, man. So what's next?
Well, I'd like to be working on John Wick 4. I don't know who to call. Who do I call?
John Wick 4 is already out.
5.
John Wick 5.
Oh shit.
I'm a little late
I'm
to
like,
the
you're a little late.
party.
John Wick 4 just came out. It
I'm at
literally
5.
just was released.
Yeah,
Wasn't
5.
it? Isn't that John
I
Wick?
don't know. I've never seen
That
a
was like
single
2
John
weeks.
Wick before in my
Okay,
life. I don't
spoiler
even know what
alert.
it is.
Everyone gets killed. That's
Why
what
would
it
you
is.
do that
That's
to
a
me?
big
I've never
shock.
seen it.
I wasn't expecting everybody to get killed.
That's the
So not
premise of the
typical.
show.
I don't know the show, so don't spoil it for me. I actually want to watch
But
it.
every show is like that.
They're all the same.
They're not all the same.
They're all the
Everybody
same.
gets killed.
Everyone gets killed.
Titanic, everyone didn't get killed.
No, but John Wick, the whole point
They're
of the
all
show
dead
is that
now.
they all die.
Well, they died of old age.
That's Titanic.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone doesn't die in every show.
In
No, in John Wick.
Oh, in the Wicks, everybody dies.
Everyone, that's the premise of the show, is that he kills everybody, and then he's the last one standing.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought he died too. When you say everybody dies, I'm
No,
I'm
John
thinking
Wick.
you're saying
John
everybody
Wick.
dies.
Never
John
dies.
Wick kills everybody.
You know what? A show that everyone died, and you're just like, holy shit. The Departed. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, that had some heavy hitter names in it.
Not everybody died.
I know the one guy survived at the end, and because
He's the one that killed everyone and cleaned everything
yeah,
up.
he cleaned everything up. Yeah,
And
that was
walked
wild.
out.
Yeah, he shot everyone in the head in that elevator.
And he had the gloves and everything.
Yeah, that's sick. That was
Yeah.
that was a wild
He
movie.
killed all the
Crazy
rats.
plot twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
really
weird
cool
one.
movie. Did you watch that one?
No.
Never seen
No,
it?
I try to watch like things like Disney sort of related things now.
Because of
Like
the kids.
Aladdin. Aladdin was really good.
That was still kind of a scary, man. Aladdin was like a scary.
The new one?
The new one was
Never
kind
saw it. Where did you see it, Steve? You on a date? Did you go on a date, Steven? No. You
Tell
went and
us.
saw it by yourself.
No, I didn't go see it.
Because
by
that's
myself.
creepy if you went by yourself.
Yeah, no, I didn't go see it. But it was a good movie.
You need to borrow a kid.
Yeah, you need to
go-
do something,
no.
man. You can't go see
I
Aladdin by
can't, I
yourself.
can't take out a kid.
I
I'm
think,
like a
I think
40-year-old man. I
Natalia
can't
and
be
I
walking
went
around with a
seven,
kid that's not mine.
7 times.
Huh?
We went 7 times,
7 times. You saw the movie 7 times?
I think.
Are you going to go see Lion King? That one looks like it's going to be dope.
Nats, are your headphones on?
Yes.
Oh, so wonderful. Yeah, we went like every day in a row I had her for 4 nights. So yeah.
You went to the theater every day in a row and watched
You know
Aladdin
what?
how many
It's
times?
wild to
Aladdin,
watch
yeah.
the 3D,
Holy
the 3D version of those things. Like 3D, like it's pretty cool to watch the movies in 3D
I didn't
nowadays.
notice it. We saw it once in 3D and then normal. I didn't see really a big difference.
You
I
didn't,
wouldn't pay
can't see the
extra.
depth?
3D gives me a headache, buddy.
Does it?
No, I hate it. I'm like, fuck, I can't look at this. Get motion sickness. It's shitty. It's not like that good.
No.
I don't know. I
No.
liked it. Once your brain it clicks in, and you're just like you can see the perception. I'm just like boom.
I'm not
At the
there in 3D
beginning,
movies.
it's kind of weird. It feels weird, but then once it clicks in, you're just like, whoa, this is.
Yeah, I don't remember a big difference. It's not worth the money.
So you want to be on John Wick 5?
Yeah, because I
As-
want to run around and shoot
Okay,
things in the
so
movies.
Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
Keanu Reeves is a shooter,
Yeah.
right? So you can reach out to Keanu Reeves and tell him, Keanu, Alphalina
All these people staring
wants
at me.
to be on your next movie, John Wick 5.
But it's not his movie. He's just the lead.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of pull. He's the lead.
I need the be
I think he's
co-lead.
got lead. I think he's got a pull. He's got pull.
He's got pull.
Keanu Reeves has pull and shit he does.
Like, I really think that John Wick and Alphalina would make a really badass team.
And is that
to
like your
go-
alter ego, Alphalina,
Yeah, for shooting.
for shooting?
Yeah. I think that would be, there's nothing more perfect than that.
So do you have acting experience?
Yeah.
Yeah. How so? Explain to the people. The people want to know.
The people want to know. So I was a member of ACTRA and UBCP. So it is
This is
Union
when
of
you were in
BC
Vancouver.
Performers.
'Kay.
And I still get checks
Yeah.
from
What
movies.
were you on, or what was the history, or
40 different films.
40 different films? Holy shit! And these are like big Hollywood
Like
films or smaller
Fantastic
ones? Or
Four
Fantastic Four?
was one of them. Smallville, I don't know if that. There's another one that's going on for 15 years now. What are those 2 guys called? It's a sci-fi with 2 guys. Supernatural.
Okay.
Wow, you're on that? That's a Canadian show?
I was on like
It was in
4.
Vancouver. They're all
Yeah,
shot in
that's all
Vancouver.
Vancouver stuff.
Vancouver. Yeah, I was on 4 episodes of that one.
Wow, and you still get royalties from that?
Not from that one, just some of them.
Okay.
The L Word, that used to be quite popular in Vancouver.
That's a Netflix show?
I don't know.
No, it was on TV.
Is it about lesbians?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, and you were on that.
I was on that one, yeah. Another 4 episodes of that one.
That's crazy. Okay, so you're developing homes, shooting guns, and an actress.
I'm pretty like, I like myself.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
see
I mean?
that.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
like
yeah.
good self-esteem. People that are like, don't like their jobs, I'm like, I love my job. I get to go shoot. I have to go to the gym. Not always fun because I don't want to go.
Yeah.
London Villas is fun. We plan like really cool parties and weddings. Like that's fun. Like
Yeah.
overall, my life is pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
My kid is cool. She's not annoying. She's really cute.
How did you come about to have such a badass life? Like, do you have anything you could tell the people? Any like you're talking about reading books and stuff like that? Like,
Yeah, you're reading
what's-
some good stuff
Right.
now.
So I read a lot, and then just watch motivational videos from like top people.
Yeah. Who
What is-
who are some of the top people?
Right now, my favorite is Ed Milet. I don't know if you guys heard of him.
Never have actually.
No.
He's gonna
Who's
be
he?
so offended.
Ed Millette?
Milet, yeah.
Milet.
He's
Where's
so
he
good.
from?
He's from California.
Yeah. What's his deal? What's his
He
thing?
does podcasts and a lot of motivational stuff, and has
Is this the burn victim guy you're talking to me about?
so that's Israel. So Israel was on Ed's show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Israel is another really cool badass.
Yeah.
And so he finds these people that are really cool and motivating. Nick, I can't pronounce his last name. Sorry, Nick. It's really long Italianish.
Yeah.
He's also really cool. So there's days in bed when you're like, oh, I'm too lazy to get up. And then you watch his Instagram and he's got like one arm and he's all like buff with his one arm. He's got no legs and works on his abs and goes to the gym. And I'm like,
Okay. I gotta go.
sorry, Nick. Like,
Yeah.
going to the gym, going to the
Yeah.
gym. You know what I mean? Like, and then you hear other people complaining about stuff,
And then these
And
guys
I'm
who have
like-
like, you're just happy to be alive.
right? Like Israel was in Afghanistan when his Humvee got, the Humvee got blown up by one of those.
Roadside
Landmines,
bombs, IUDs,
roadside mines,
whatever?
IUDs,
Improvised explosive
IU
device.
yeah.
IEDs.
IUDs.
I keep thinking it's IUD. I'm like, I don't know. Both will ruin your life.
IEDs. Oh, both will ruin your life.
Ruin your life.
I think the IUD saves lives, doesn't it?
I think, yeah,
Only
one or
when
the
they
other. yeah. So,
Jeez.
yeah, so he had that and he was on fire. So he's a burn victim, right? But he
Yeah.
goes around and he's a motivational speaker, right? Like he's just a go-getter. So I'm like, you know, so people call me or whatever and they complain about like what, your hair and makeup? I'm like, bitch, I'd like to introduce you to my friend Israel. Like, why
Yeah.
don't you tell him about your problem? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Who's that one fellow, no legs, no arms?
Nick.
Nick?
Nick.
Oh, that's the guy. He's got
Nick.
no arms, no legs.
So that's how he was born.
Yeah.
Israel is a different individual.
Yeah.
Nick is from, I'm not sure where he's from. Now he's in Florida.
I don't
That's
remember.
how he was born.
I remember watching one where he crawled up on a table and he knocked himself over and he said, "What happens when he's got a
He is
South
so
African
funny.
accent?"
I don't know, but he's like snowboarding always. Like, he's like, hey, what else can I do?
Yeah, and he just has no limbs. Yeah. I just remember the one. He knocked himself on a table and he said, "What happens in life when you get knocked over?" He's like, "You got to get yourself up." But it took him like 5 minutes to get back up on his little nubs.
I just love him.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, you can't be a bitch and lay in bed, go, I'm depressed. That's why I have them on my Instagram. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I scroll through Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And then Nick pops up doing his one arm, like, I'm like, okay, all right, Nick, going to the gym.
Wild. That's cool.
Like,
So
you
do you
can't
think?
lay there, go, I'm so lazy. You don't feel like getting up.
So you think a really for your successes in life, one of the bigger things that can like your successes can be attributed to would be the things you listen to, the people you follow, and the books you read.
And it's I think the mind
Yeah.
is more important than anything else, right? So Dr. Joe Dispenza, he is my favorite.
Yeah.
Like you literally
He's a neuroscience, isn't he? He's a neuroscientist.
like and the brain programming and all that.
Yeah, and he's real spiritual and
Yeah.
he's found he's like a neuroscientist that became super spiritual, isn't he?
Yeah, because he'll explain to you how the brain works, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I like. Every day you wake up and you're like, hey. Well, first we start off with the attitude of gratitude. Natalia and I do it every night before we go to bed, right? And I like listening to her do the attitude of gratitude because the things she's so grateful for just like melts my heart. Well, first of all, it's me, right? But then it's like
She's grateful for you.
I'm grateful for mommy. I'm grateful for my cereal. I'm grateful for my toys. Yeah, like things like that, right?
No, not like that. Can we ask her what she's grateful for?
She can come.
Nats.
Yeah,
Can
if
you
you want to
come
come
here?
sit in, you can sit in, Nats.
Can you tell us about the attitude of gratitude? Do you want to sit here and tell us? Come sit right here. It is like, it's not like what a kid says, right? Hi, Nats. So when we do attitude of gratitude, what are you grateful for? For me, yeah. Our bed. Our blankets.
Yeah.
Our pillows.
Yeah. Try to do it without touching the mic, though.
Yeah. Our blanket, our pillows, our bed. What else are we grateful for? Electricity.
Jeez,
Ooh,
that's a
that
good one,
reminds
actually.
me.
I should put that one on my list, too.
I forgot to pay EPCOR.
It's
That's
okay.
why we're grateful for electricity, because when we remember to pay for it, right?
They're good. They don't shut you down.
They don't shut your and all your fish goes
Yeah,
moldy.
they do.
I know. I took no. They shut them down when I left. Last year when he moved in, we were switching they switched the power over.
Yeah.
And I hadn't set up the account yet.
Right.
And it literally like shut it down, and they said it would take 6 days to get back up because I had to set it up from Cuba.
Right.
Because he's like, "Yo, man, there's no power," and I'm like, "Oh, the power! I forgot
You're
to
like,
set it
oh,
up."
shit, I forgot.
And I set it up online while I was in Cuba, but it was like 6 days.
You're like,
so
"Go
he's
find
like,
candles."
all
It
of
was
a-
actually more like, yeah, sure, I'll take one. It was actually more like 10 days because I powered through it for like 4 days.
Do you want water?
Yeah, anyways, I powered through it for a while and then I was like, okay, Steve, something's wrong here. Like,
After 10
getting
days, you're
bad.
like,
Yeah.
I don't mean to complain, but
But what else is she grateful for?
what else are we grateful for? What? What?
You go.
Oh, I go. Oh, yeah. So then it's my turn. But yeah, so those are the things that like we learn about what we're grateful for, is like just things like that,
Yeah, the small things.
right? And then the other thing is you can only be as great as what you can imagine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're like, oh, not only, but if you think, okay, I'm going to be a millionaire. Well, at the end of your life, yeah, you're going to be a millionaire, but that's what, another 50, 60, 70 years for most of us. Well, everyone's going to be a millionaire. You didn't think big enough, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing, whether you can or can't. Whether you believe you can or can't, either way, you're true. You're right.
Yeah. So
Right.
even with her, she's like, she has these like great things she wants to do. So when she's like, I'm going to be riding a horse and shooting. I'm like, okay, so in order to do, what do we need? She's like, a horse. I'm like, hey,
Let's get a horse.
let's go get a horse, right? So 2 horse lessons. She's like, no, I don't want to do that. But we tried. You know what I mean? We went and we experienced it. It was a lot more work than she thought. So we're like, okay, well, at least we tried it, right? So whatever she comes up with, like things like that, I want to ride a horse and shoot. Like, okay.
Yeah, you know what?
let's
At this age, though,
try it.
at this age, though, you want to try as many things as possible.
But a lot of parents,
Yeah.
because there's always the counterpart, oh, you can't do that. You're too little.
No, you can do whatever
You're
you
too
want
short.
to do. And if you do it now, by the time you become like 15, 16, 17, you'll be an expert. And you don't
Yeah.
have to, like, that's the thing. Is because right now you'll be able, they're like sponges.
Yeah.
And they basically, they're creating their neurons. So like, now that I know all
and
this
just
stuff too,
try
like,
so much. And then the older you get, you don't want to try anything, right? So at 43, I was like, and that's the thing. I started listening to Ed Milet and Dr. Joe Dispenza. And so I was like so depressed. I'm like, well, if I'm going to do anything, like, what am I going to do? And then I'm like, well, I'm going to go for this Maxim cover thing. And the funny thing is, like, if you could see what I looked like in bed that day, with like my hair all like greasy and stinky and in a knot, like no makeup. I haven't seen the sun for like 4 days, like probably laying in bed crying with my booger rags everywhere. So if you see the scene of this girl looking like complete trash going, I'm going to be a Maxim model, people would be like, okay, let's just pick,
a little delusional.
You're like,
right
okay,
now.
you're 43, you know what I mean? Like there's so many excuses.
Yeah.
But I was like, no. And then it's like, I think I was like 4th in the semifinals. I'm like, I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
photo shoots came out well. I was in Vegas like that next month shooting with like the top world shooters.
What did you think of that little airstrip, like that museum kind of thing? It was pretty cool, eh?
Which one?
You did the photo shoot there, the same place I did my photo shoot.
Oh, it's a secret.
It's a secret.
My photographer doesn't want me to tell people where it was.
Stevie, come on, man, you can't.
Well, I won't tell people where it is, but it's pretty dope. Like
It is dope.
Like they have like the crashing, a bunch of old planes crashed out, and like
Texaco gas stations.
yeah. I shot a music video out there. It was pretty dope.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Should I do my next one there too?
yeah.
Go in the
There's,
plane
like,
though.
Yeah, you could do it in a bunch of places there.
There's so many like different. Yeah, it's really nice out there.
Okay, so before we wrap this up, let's talk about what are some of the books that you would recommend people to read out there?
Think and Grow Rich.
There's a lot of people kind of say that one. Think and
That's
Grow
a
Rich.
classic.
That's a
It
classic.
needs to be read every year.
Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill?
Yep, Napoleon Hill.
Yeah. Next
What else
one.
is there?
Before you go, have you done the interview with the devil yet?
No.
And that's the Napoleon Hill one too. That
I'm
one's
like, I'm kind of done with the devil.
no. It's like
It's called Outwitting the Devil.
Outwitting the Devil.
Oh.
And it's an interview with him. Like, so basically what he learned is that you can control the devil because you can tell him what to do. So when he's actually having this interview, he's telling you how to outwit him.
Oh my god.
And it's
I get so excited about like new books and things.
I
like
was
that.
listening to it and I'm like, wow, this is like creepily accurate. Like so accurate in terms of things. So like it's one of the things. And it's like online too. Like you can like get it on YouTube and stuff like that. It's called Outwitting the Devil by
I'm gonna read that one.
Napoleon Hill.
I'm gonna read
like
that
that. After reading that one too, I was like thinking, I gotta just gather everything Napoleon Hill wrote and just try to absorb
Yeah.
everything that he wrote because he was on some next level for sure. Like next level, not even like next level in his generation, like next
Right.
level, all generations.
Yeah.
Like he's done some next level stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna read that.
So who else?
Like I feel bad for Michelle Obama because I started the book and it's still sitting there.
That's
okay.
what it's called? I Feel Bad for Michelle Obama?
No, her book. I started reading it and then somebody else was like, oh, you should read this one. And that just sounds so much more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So I read that one and then I'll read like 3 more pages and somebody recommends something else.
And you'll move on to the next
And then I
one.
move on to the next one. So she's
Yeah.
been like part of my table for like months now.
Yeah.
That's annoying when that
Here,
happens.
are you comfortable?
Do you want
I
to
can
sit
move
there?
over too. No, you're good.
You want to,
Okay.
oh boy. Sit
And
right
anything else?
here.
What else you got? Oprah? Is Oprah one recommended?
No, she doesn't really, no.
No?
What was the other one? Oh, it's an audiobook. David Goggins. You guys know who he is, right?
Yeah.
No, I have no.
Goggins.
David Goggins, yeah. He's famous.
He's famous?
Yeah.
I haven't
What's
heard of him.
wrong with you, Steve?
I'm sorry.
Goggins.
I'm still looking for
Yeah,
He was on Joe Rogan?
yeah.
Oh, I haven't
David
seen
Goggins.
that.
Okay, I'll
The
have to-
audiobook though.
Okay.
Because on the audiobook, like he'll stop and do like almost like a podcast, like a little mini interview in between each chapter.
Oh, nice.
And so he is so cool that like once the audiobook was done, I just pressed play again and went right back to the beginning and started watching it.
Okay, that's a good one.
Right? Like it's really a mental thing.
Anything else?
I don't know. Like, what do you recommend besides that? What do you recommend?
It's, we're asking you. I have a whole library of books.
I went through another one this weekend, The Luckiest Man in Babylon. That's
Richest Man in Babylon.
Richest Man. I think I
Well,
read that one. I can't remember what it was
the
about.
last chapter was called The Luckiest Man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon. Yeah, that's a great book too. Like that teaches you it teaches the laws of gold.
Which, you know what? Now the sport, here's the other thing about the sport. When I first started shooting, I would be going there, like my Valentino runners and my Louis Vuitton luggage with all my stuff, right? And I was all like fancy and whatever. But the more I'm shooting and then also going through all the stuff, it's like I know that like this is the next level of ultimate wealth because I don't need to spend money on anything now.
You don't value the material world
I don't
anymore.
need a pair of Louboutins.
No.
Like the fuck am I gonna use Louboutins for?
Yeah.
I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything.
Nice pair of runners would be better.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, these ones are gonna get me through the dirt, really, you know, and it
Yeah.
stops and it's got a good grip, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And just hanging out with people, like going for lunch to Subway is way more fun than getting dressed up and going for a fancy thing. Like to me, it's now too much having to do hair, makeup, and coordinate clothes, and all. Like I just don't like that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
That's like
There's
a
no
sign
money
of
to
growth
be
too.
spent. Like I don't need it. Like I don't want to go to the mall. I go because I need a shirt.
Tank top, white tank top.
I need a white tank top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
I'm wearing one right now. It's underneath here. White tank is underneath.
Yeah, I mean, the one that I have is the same one that I've had for years, and the other one was just like really, I'm like, okay, you have to go and get a new one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
got
know
the
exactly what you
same
mean.
exact one. I'm like, okay, now I'm happy. And I don't need anything else. Even my closet, I'm like, I have way too much stuff. I don't need stuff. I now like the experiences.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. It's like being at a new level of
Enlightenment.
you're
kind
not
of thing,
controlled by stuff anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't give a rat's ass if your bag matches your whatever. I'm like, my bag is 10 years old.
It's
and
it's
still nice.
it's like a it's like
I don't need
a
anything.
it's like a prison. Like when people are like, oh, I need my like if people can take it away, I'm like, okay, that's not
Yeah.
part of me. But like so many people are like attached to objects, and that like if they take that away, then they take a piece of them with them. You know, like you
Yeah,
know?
clothes don't make the man.
No, they don't.
But there's something to be said with quality, to be honest.
But
Yeah.
it's better to buy like a quality white T-shirt that lasts you for years than
Yeah.
that you wear it all the time. Like that's good.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Like, there's
As
like with
opposed-
clothing items, I think qualities.
I have like my, like I bought these jeans. Like I thought I was splurging on them because I bought them when I was in the States. And I wear these things like 4 times a week.
Yeah, like
The only time I change them is because I'm seeing the same person for the 4th time.
and they're
I'm
like, yeah,
I better put on
Change
my
my
other one.
jeans.
But I mean, if I didn't have to, I'd wear them every single day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Like
no,
I don't
no.
need any. Like I just don't need the 20 pairs that are sitting there anymore.
So where do people find you? People's
Instagram,
looking.
Alphalina. That's 2 A's.
Alpha.
Can you spell that?
AA. AALPHA, Alpha, and then Lina, LINA. Yeah.
And then just we'll
So
find
like
you out.
Evelina, but like Alphalina.
Alphalina.
Alpha. Don't forget the 2 A's.
Two
Double
A's.
A, double A.
Is it double tap. Pew pew.
Is there a single?
Is that-
Is,
is
is
that
there
what the
one out
double
there
A-
that has 1A?
That's why
Is there an
there's,
Alphalina with 1A out there?
I don't know.
That's just a one tap?
But if you get one, the second one is a mic. You don't want a mic. You don't want an alpha mic.
Yeah.
That's loser.
Oh, you want two? Yeah,
You need 2
you
alpha.
need 2
Because
alphas.
when they walk around, that's like the sweetest sound ever. 2 alphas, 2 alphas. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the best day ever.
Okay, that's what they say.
Yeah,
oh,
2 alphas,
okay,
2
yeah.
alphas.
You don't want alpha mic.
Double A.
If you get an alpha mic,
It's
you're
bad.
like, you just lost the match.
You lost
like,
the match.
Fuck it, might as well go home.
Go home, yeah.
Save my ammo.
Oh, fuck my.
Take the Louis Vuitton bags and
Throw it on the ground.
Yeah, throw it
okay,
on the
no,
ground.
that's a little extreme, but yeah, no, 2 alphas, 2 A's, yeah.
And then the other one was Evelina Developments.
But I'm on hiatus from building right now.
Okay. And then the other one is
London Villas.
London Villas.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to do a bash.
And do you have your clothing line out yet?
No, I haven't had time. I actually have a clothing line for Alphalina.
Yeah.
People are like, well, I want to buy a sweatshirt. I'm like, I just don't have the time
Yeah.
to like go online and like whatever I need to do, which I'm sure probably takes an hour. I just don't have the hour.
yeah.
Like training takes a lot of time. I have to go to the range. I have to go to the gym. My thing is like you have to work out twice a day, like once at the gym and once outside, no matter what the weather is. You have to go out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to do my like my skills, like my drills at the house.
Yeah.
So I don't have time. That's why I'm glad there's events because I'm working,
Yeah.
but really it's
You're,
the only social time I have
that's
in the
wild.
range.
Yeah. So what was it? London Villas again? London Village?
London Villas
Oh, Villas. London
Yeah.
Villas. This is Macaulay?
in Macaulay, yep.
Hey, that's sweet. I'm actually going to
It's
look
a
into
nice
that.
place.
It's really nice.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like but that's the thing, like you have all of these super nice buildings, like right? Like the London Villa Hub, it's like it's gorgeous inside there, man. Like it's pumped up. It's like a banquet hall. And then you can also rent the
The
boardroom.
boardroom's beautiful.
The boardroom is really beautiful. You can rent the boardroom for business meetings and things like that too.
Yeah.
What about our 50th episode? We do a thing in London Villas.
Well, we were talking about actually. We were talking
Having
about
every guest here.
We were talking about actually potentially doing you bringing down and doing events where she actually flies in guests and we do podcasts with the guests as she flies down. So like if you have an event, you bring
We
in.
could do it upstairs in the boardroom,
Yeah,
the
we could do the
conference
podcast
room,
upstairs, and then the people can-
downstairs would be the actual thing.
People would come down and actually watch the speakers speak.
Yeah, that'd be a cool
Because
idea.
I'd love to get Israel down here. Like he's
Yeah,
just
if you got Israel down here, we'd have to get him on
Or
the show.
Nick
We'd have to
or-
I'm
bump.
in. Yeah,
we'd have
yeah.
to bump someone for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, but like Israel, this is gonna get you bumped.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I would like bump myself for Israel.
Yeah,
Like,
that's cool. Yeah, that's something we could talk about off air type thing, which I think is pretty neat.
Yeah.
But
and then my book launch too.
Yeah.
gotta
Where are they
finish
going to
the
find
decade.
that? They're going to find that on Evelina as well?
It'll probably be on that. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you seems
You're
like you got your
super
hands full.
ambitious. You got lots going on.
I know. Oh my
Lots
God, I've
going
got the
on.
book.
And you do everything
got
full.
10 seasons of Netflix coming up.
And then you do
like,
full, like all to the, like,
right, and then the
balls to the
Bentley, and they're
wall.
like, well, where's your Bentley? I'm like, I don't know where it is. Maybe getting cleaned right now. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
it's coming.
Probably someone's driving it because I don't like brand new. I'm like second owner. I'm like, so I don't know. Ed Milet has one. Maybe I'll buy his.
Yeah.
Like it has to be white. So I go, I don't know where it is right now. Like, you lost your Bentley?
Yeah.
Right? I didn't say I lost it. I said it's out, like
It's out there. It's coming.
getting cleaned maybe or something. I don't know. I'm not concerned. I go, I don't really need it in Edmonton anyway. Like potholes.
No, ruin the
This
whole
is true.
thing. It gets
That's why
expensive.
you're
Just
not-
do it in Arizona. I'll
Yeah.
have 2 homes. One in Arizona, one here, and the Bentley will have to stay there because the roads
Have you
are
been to
better.
Arizona? It's nice
I
out
go
there.
all the time. Yeah,
Yeah. It's houses are cheap out there too, aren't they?
they are. Yeah,
Yeah.
Not cheap, inexpensive. 2 different things. Roads
Yes.
are really nice though.
roads are
The
nice.
roads are
Yeah.
gorgeous.
The roads are gorgeous because they
Are
don't
you
fall
kidding me?
apart.
No salt, no bullshit. You ever driven on those roads?
No snow.
Dude, I would just like I would.
Weather's better.
Oh
Can you
man.
can you skateboard on those things?
I
Like
love
longboard
the
on that
sound
Dude,
of
amazing.
American highways.
Yeah, they sound different.
Like toot, toot, toot.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's like the big concrete, like slabs of concrete, and then there's usually like
The
a
crack.
little bump.
The little
in the
bump.
middle.
stuff? Oh, kind of like how
So-
they did the Anthony Henday
and,
here.
and the faster you go, it's doot, doot, doot. Like I just love it because you just I don't know. And here, like ow, your car, you're like
Oh, when it hits the pothole and it's like, and you can feel it hit it, and it's not even like the shocks are designed to do this, but it hits it like that.
It's like some sideways shit, and then you go, oh, I'm sorry, baby, and you hit the dash.
Well,
You're like, "Oh, I
no,
apologize."
not my car. Actually, my car, Natalia painted the whole interior of it with nail polish.
Oh, jeez.
Holy shit, that's a wild.
And when I asked her about it, I'm like, dude, we can't do that. She goes, yeah, I'm out of nail polish.
Yeah,
That's
we can't
funny.
do that
She's
again.
like,
I'm out of
and
nail
it's not
polish.
she's like, and it's not the Bentley.
That's funny.
Good point.
Funny.
Well,
That was good. Let's end it there. That's
I think
perfect.
we can wrap her up.
Sounds
Yeah.
good, yeah.
Wrap it up. Okay, it's getting a little hot in here. You got a toucan. The lights are getting hot.
Yeah, I don't know. I was outside and it was like a little chilly out, so
It was
I
getting
chucked
cold,
the toucan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, legit was getting a little bit cold, but here we are. That's the podcast, ThoughtXchange. Evelina Mannarino, Alphalina,
Alphalina.
Double A.
Double
Double
A.
Alpha.
Double
Don't
alphas.
forget-
Double
Yeah.
Alpha. No
There you
Alpha
go.
Mike.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike. You
Sorry,
beat it.
Mike.
Ugh.
All right, thank you guys for joining in. That's the Thought
That's
episode
number 30. Wow.
That's dirty 30 here. That's crazy,
Yeah.
Stevie. 30 episodes of this shit. Eh?
30,
You guys are
30 weeks.
awesome.
We're on 30
Holy
weeks.
shit, this is 30 weeks. Actually, like 33 weeks.
We
Jason
don't wanna-
Strudwick bailed on us.
Why are you throwing him under the bus?
Well, he bailed.
That's
Now
true.
he's going to be back.
Yeah,
But
now
we're
he's
gonna.
coming
But
back.
we had one over the Christmas holidays with Kevin Murphy. We're gonna bring him back. He's got to come back on the show.
Yeah.
That
That's
hair?
Huh? We never released it. It was. It was.
It was a good episode.
It's a
Very
really
good
good
Is
episode.
that the
episode.
guy that does hair products?
No, he's a fitness psychologist kind of thing. Like he does it's crazy. He's
It was
like,
a good. Yeah, it was a cool thing.
He
Yeah.
does like.
When do we have the audience? Because I'd want to be like back here listening and watching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need a live audience, Steve.
Start
Let's build
off
like
with
a
the
little.
obvious.
A little set.
Yeah, yeah. Yo, okay, this is sick. Yeah.
Yeah, we just do like a live show like Oprah, like how
You
Oprah
guys
does.
are
and
moving into London villas.
and-
Look at that, just
and
like
kind of
that.
sit in on in the audience and have.
Just
those
look at
discussions.
that. Hey, I have
Yeah.
the space for the audience. I have all that, and now we're in London
I could
villas.
see how Oprah could do this for a living.
It's
like,
getting
this
bigger
is-
and bigger.
You know, just talk to people.
I
all
would
day.
love to have Tom Cruise just like.
Just jumping up and goes, yeah, I'm in love,
Yeah, I would love that.
and then he gets a divorce.
We all do.
Well, I think that had a little more to do with Scientology than it did with his relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He chose Scientology over his wife.
Well, they would have killed everybody if he left.
Yeah.
Like a
But
John Wick. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, everyone
And the
would have
upcoming
died.
5.
That's another episode. We'll talk about Scientology with another guest.
Yes.
Not me.
Yeah, no,
No.
it's stressful.
It's a stressful thing.
That's
yeah.
a wild
And you
venture.
guys are excited to do it?
Talk about Science. Yeah,
Yeah.
we might die. Or
We
like,
might die. Because you're poking the bear at that point. when
nothing
you're-
is safe. Yeah.
Yeah, when you deal with Scientologists, we're not in Scientology, but they could end up being outside the door protesting. or
There's
doing
probably some
something.
guy up there just like spying in us.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Religions
right.
and
Oh, that one's a wild one.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, but anyways, ThoughtXchange. Take care,
Okay.
guys.
Thanks a lot, guys. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.